shuttle service, or pickup and delivery. Get a tire quote, get financing. Jody's Auto Service Centers, voted best of the best by our customers year after year. We're your neighbors since 1984 with 3 full-service locations in Fort Smith and Van Buren. See for yourself at jodsauto.com.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, lots of sunshine. Our high temperatures this afternoon, low 50s north, upper 50s south. We will see some frost tonight. Overnight lows will drop down in the low to mid 30s. Frosty start to Saturday, then sunshine. Our high on Saturday in the low 60s, and Sunday back in the upper 60s to low 70s. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Shamrock Liquor Warehouse, 5609 Midland Boulevard, your leader in fine wines, beers, and spirits. You're listening to The Morning Rush, live from the Busch Light Studios on ESPN 95.3, KERX Paris, Fort Smith. Coming to you live from the Crabtree RV Center Studios. Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com.
We got a good one tonight. You got a team in here that would respect it. Oh, ask me if I'm all right. Well, can't they dominate? And we not doing it.
We're going to go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field.
Yeah. Matt Jones, Matt, take it to the house. The dunk.
Both said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's halftime with Phil Olson and Matt Jones.
From the bottom of my toes to the top of my head. What's my heart, dog? Let's go, man.
The angles were so bad, we showed them at halftime.
But they were one Razorback.
Like, what in the world were we thinking?
It's vintage Matt Jones.
Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Olson and Matt Jones.
All right, it is a beautiful day. Good morning. Welcome in halftime live from Mock Legal Solutions in Fort Smith, where we are spending the entire day. Pretty much all of ESPN Arkansas programming is taking over the conference room at Mock Legal Solutions. You just heard the morning rush. Ty and Tommy hustled out like they had somewhere to go. And me, Phil Elson, and my partner Matt Jones have taken as much time as we can to hustle in here and get our stuff set up, and we can do this radio program for the next 3 hours. Halftime is with you with Christian Johnston back in the studios. In about 3 hours, Matt, did you notice how quickly Ty and Tommy got out? Like, they were out of here quickly.
It's almost like they had a tea time.
Do we go fast, or do we go a little kind of slower for Ruskin and Zach when they show up here? Do we kind of sort of like make it, hey, you guys give us our time to get out of here. We've got important things to pack up and move on. Or do we just kind of like get out of their way ultra quick? I guess we got a couple hours to figure it out. Good to be across the conference table from you, man. I feel like we've got some important business going here.
Ooh, we've had one meeting already this week. I don't know. That's a little too much for me.
Yeah, but that meeting yesterday came with Mexican food, came with concretes from Andy's Frozen Custard, and we didn't talk about a single serious thing all day. So that's my kind of meeting. I don't know. Maybe this is a little bit different for us instead of being in the studio. So it's just kind of our own little conference studio for these next 3 hours.
This is pretty cool. At least they got a fan. I mean, that's big time right there.
And a fan that's not going to be making little squeaky noises. Yeah, you should have seen Matt yesterday. It was I think we were talking with Brett. Was it Brett Dolan? I think we were talking with him, and the fan that's in the office is just kind of making that intermittent squeak every 2 or 3 seconds. The kind of squeak that you don't hear unless it happens every 2 or 3 seconds, and then you can hear it like it's actually pounding a mallet inside your head. So I did take care of this. Is a working fan with no sound, and yeah, they got nice digs here, very nice, and they've even brought us some gifts too. This would be my first Christmas gift of the holiday season, Matt. Very happy to get this.
How cool. I got a little essay, man. He's a little soccer player. He looks like he probably played for Atletico Madrid. I dig it. There you go, man.
Yeah, I got a baseball player with number 10, and he looks exactly like the Nutcracker. That's great. And even my last name on the back of it. Yeah, appreciate that. Thanks very much, Matt and Jackie. And yeah, so that's my first. I don't have the tree to put up. I haven't done but I've got a place I can certainly put this on display, whether it's a refrigerator or something else.
There's a lot going on in the football world, and I know we'll get to it. We got a long show. It's going to be a fun show today.
Did you see yesterday's NFL? I watched it.
That's what I was going to bring up.
That was so much fun. It's kind of funny because we were talking about what the playoff games will look like in the Big Ten campuses. That's what it'll look like potentially, at least in one or two of those places.
Is Jameis? He's America's quarterback now. I think. I like him.
Every Cleveland Brown backup that takes over after Deshaun Watson as America's quarterback.
That's fair.
Because last year Flacco was.
Fair enough.
I mean, you can't say it can't be Patrick Mahomes. He can't be America's quarterback because he's the favorite. We got to root for the underdog. Jameis is that. Well, first of all,
if Patrick Mahomes, if they win it this year, does he become kind of like a villain? Like Brady ended up being. Everybody was like F Brady. It was just like, who cares? Nobody likes Brady because he just kept winning so much. Would Mahomes be a villain if they three-peat?
I guess sooner or later people start to view you like
right?
that. Yeah. Well, I mean, people viewed like Jeter as the villain.
The Yankees are villains. Nobody goes for the Yankees.
But there was nothing to dislike about Derek Jeter, other than maybe being just too businesslike.
Yeah, too good.
or providing a kind of walkaway gift for every date that he had. What was wrong with that? Sounds pretty respectful, if you ask me.
It's a very Hank Azaria baller move right there, and I think that the Giants gave Daniel Jones a walkaway bag here this morning, so he'll be okay. Does he get picked up? I don't know that he'll.
Oh, someone will give him a chance.
You think so?
Why not?
He's
I mean,
not
isn't Zach Wilson on a roster right now somewhere? Trey Lance is on a roster.
What was your the word that Bill King made up, sample size? He said that the sample size for Zach Wilson is very small. You've seen Daniel Jones go out there for 30 starts, so you kind of know what. I don't think you've seen enough out of Zach Wilson yet.
We'll see what happens if he's given a chance to bake in the oven a little bit longer, because that's a little bit like the Sam Darnold story, right? I just feel like someone will give him a second. There's another franchise out there that'll be willing to give him an opportunity as a third stringer, just like Trey Lance. But it doesn't necessarily mean that he's ever going to play again.
Is Brandon Allen going to start?
Didn't Purdy hurt?
Man, I don't know who they're gonna start.
I hope Brandon gets a chance to play it. I don't think he took 2 snaps all of last year. Why not? Hey, that was fun last night. So I did the women's basketball broadcast, which is another thing to talk about later. 21-point loss at home to Oral Roberts. Yeesh, that was not pretty. But then I get back to the hotel and immediately turn on Prime Video for the Steelers and Browns and see the last play taking it into halftime. And at that point, you could still see the field. You could tell where everything was happening. And it was, I expect that there's usually going to be more points in the third and fourth quarter of an NFL game, but not under necessarily like those conditions. Now, and I'm texting with a bunch of friends of mine that I grew up with. We're all from Pittsburgh. We're all Steelers fans. And, yeah, I was bummed out that they lost, but I was entertained. I was entertained by everything about that game, even all the decisions that Mike Tomlin made, which backfired, and just about every one of them did. That just was – it's the first game I've seen this year, that I think anybody's seen this year, where it's been in snow, where you couldn't even tell where the Steelers were because they're wearing white jerseys, for crying out loud. That just was a lot of fun. And then there's Jameis afterwards. And even before the game, he knew it was going to happen. He just looked like he was having so much fun. Look, I hate the Browns, but I do like Jameis, and I do like cold weather football. I grew up in it. If I made it seem like I was complaining earlier in the week about SEC teams that might have to go play up north in a first-round game, I don't really think I'm not trying to complain about it. It's just to me, it was the visuals of 3 SEC teams going on the road to the Big Ten. I love this kind of football, and these guys have to like playing in it too, right?
You do. No, that's what I was saying. None of the players. There's a certain level that it can get a little too much, like the Miami Dolphins Kansas City playoff game last year, where you're kind of moving in slow motion, but for the most part, as long as it's not negative, man, that's what you want, man. You go out there and play all day.
I don't remember the exact quote that Winston had before when Kaylee Hartung is interviewing him, and I think, was it that did he thank God for the opportunity to compete and to play in this weather, in what he was again. At that point, there was no snow, the field was green, but you knew it was coming, and he just looked like. I mean, this would be an analogy that works. A kid that wakes up on Christmas Day and sees snow for the first time in his life. He looked so excited for it.
They
And
were
if you
doing
go
snow
play,
angels after
well, if you go play for a team like Cleveland or Pittsburgh or any team up north, and maybe this goes too for college football teams. Now, if you go play at Michigan, you go play at Notre Dame, you go play at Ohio State, heck, Penn State, just take your pick of the northern teams that play in the geography where you're going to get this kind of weather. You have to welcome it now. It's like, so this kid, I don't know if you saw this yesterday, the number one recruit in the country, Bryce Underwood, flipped from LSU to Michigan. Now, this has nothing to do with the weather, okay? But the weather obviously isn't going to have anything to do with why he makes his choice to go play there. We're all pointing to this $10 million offer that he's been given. Connor Stallions has a job on this high school team that he just took earlier this month. He was coaching for, I think it was a defensive coordinator for a high school or somewhere around, I think just outside Detroit. Then he ends up taking over as the interim head coach. I read where he had suffered a mild stroke earlier in the season and leaves the team. And now he's come back as some kind of coach with this high school in Belleville, Michigan. Keep in mind, this is a guy who openly, on the Untold Netflix documentaries, basically comes across as somebody that will do anything, short of taking his own life for the Michigan football program. The coincidences kind of write themselves.
As in Seinfeld, they said there is no big coincidences and there's no little coincidences. There's just coincidences.
Well, $10 million. I feel like another aspect of this could also be, I think you step right into Michigan and you start playing immediately. It's the same idea with the number 2 recruit in the country, Julian Lewis, a quarterback out of Georgia that's chosen to play for Deion at Colorado. Shadour's about to get drafted. He's going to the NFL. There is a wide open spot for whomever Deion would either pluck out of the portal or, in this case, sign the second best or get a commitment from the second best player, not just quarterback, but player in the nation, according to the ESPN rankings, which I think also, Matt tells me, Deion doesn't mind the idea of maybe coaching in the snow next year either at Colorado.
Deion's having fun out there, man. He really is, and he has the best college player in Travis Hunter in college football, I think. That's going to be interesting to see how they go next year. I really would not be surprised if Colorado – now they play Kansas, and Kansas just beat BYU, right? So that's who they're going to play, and then they play Oklahoma State, and then they would have to play BYU for the champ. I mean, if Kansas can beat BYU, why can't Colorado? I will not be surprised if Colorado ends up representing the Big 12 this year in the playoff 12.
Still could end up with Arizona State getting in there somehow too.
Wow.
I think does Arizona State play Iowa State on Saturday? So no, BYU at Arizona State. I mean that's tied for first with a team that's in third place right there.
Yeah, okay.
Either one of those two teams could be playing your Buffs. Well,
America's Buffs.
You got America's quarterback in Cleveland. America's team. Well, who's America's team this week? Is it still the Steelers after a loss?
Yeah. You can't jump ship just because America's team. You got to stick beside them, and unless they lose 3 in a row. If the Steelers lose 3 in a row, then you kind of start wondering about it. But until then, now Steelers are America's team.
Is America's team in college then Indiana? If we're supposed to root for the underdog,
I haven't seen them play yet.
I haven't either.
So I don't know. I'm going to watch them play Saturday, so tomorrow, right?
I haven't seen an Indiana football game since my sophomore year at Indiana. Like, I didn't watch anymore after that. There was no reason to. They stunk. They were 2-9 my last year as a student there. There was never a reason to watch Indiana football until this year. I still haven't gotten my mind around that.
What was that, Calbert Chaney? Their guard.
Chaney probably was better at football
40.
than most of the football players
That's the
were
last
that second
Indiana
year
guy
at IU.
I remember, yeah.
to take on any adventure. The elegant Range Rover offers unmatched performance and first-class luxury. The Range Rover is built for every journey. Visit Land Rover of Little Rock today and explore our incredible Range Rover selection. Plus, take advantage of our promotions and recently revamped service department. Visit us at 25 Colonel Glenn Plaza Drive or log on at LandRoverLittleRock.com.
The best things never change, they just get better. Like Hardee's Original Bag, just $6.99. Choose from juicy charbroiled double cheeseburgers, melty hot ham and cheeses, or hand-breaded chicken tender wraps. 2 full-size favorites plus fries and a drink, all just $6.99. There's no skimping in this bag. No junior burgers or tiny nuggies, just full-size goodness for big-time value. The $6.99 Original Bag, only at Hardee's. These items only, tax not included. Price and participation may vary.
The people have voted, and Evans Body Shop has been recognized. Voted best in the River Valley this year and 5 years running best of the best independent body shop. We are so grateful for the support of our community. EBS has hundreds of 5-star reviews and countless satisfied customers. We invite you to experience a customer service level that sets our shop apart from the others. Call or come by today to see why we say
Evans Body Shop, where we meet the nicest people by accident.
When your carpets, upholstery, and floors look dirty and stained, call your local Service Master Clean at 646-4087. Service Master Clean is an industry leader and can remove the toughest stains from your home or office. And they back their work with a satisfaction guarantee. Eliminate dirt and grime from your carpet, hardwood, tile, and laminate floors. Call your local Service Master Clean, 479-646-4087. That's 646-4087 or online at servicemasterpc.com.
This is Ty from ESPN Arkansas. Join me Wednesday, November 27th from 4 to 6 p.m. at Square Pie Pizza Company inside Choctaw Casino. Come out and enjoy the very best Detroit-style pizza, hoagies, and delicious appetizers. Enjoy some great food. Hit the gaming room for the best entertainment in the River Valley. Wednesday, November 27th from 4 to 6 p.m. at Square Pie Pizza Company inside Choctaw Casino. Choctaw Casino. This is how Pecola plays.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Physical. Spin your body around, you know the way I like. Sugar babe, take me to the moon, 'cause I'm feeling right.
Find Halftime on 99.5 in Northwest Arkansas, 95.3 in Fort Smith and the River Valley, 96.3 in Hot Springs and Central Arkansas, 104.3 in Harrison and Mountain Home, and everywhere on hitthatline.com. Join the conversation. Call or text 877-377-6963. Now back to the hosts. Here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Headed to our hotline where we have our very good friend Aaron Torres joining us here, where we get a chance to talk to him. I have not been on a Friday show in a while now, so I haven't talked to AT in like 3 weeks. We missed each other last week in Los Angeles. You know, the thing is L.A. is it's a city, but it is a very large city, and it is tough to get around sometimes. So we couldn't quite connect. Missed you out there, AT, but hey, I understand. We got things going on, and it's good to talk to you today.
I missed you, Phil. I apologize. But, yeah, no, where you were staying, it is by technicality the same city. By the way, this is some fun Los Angeles geography for you. I think you were probably less than 10 miles from me. If I left at the wrong time of day, I'm sitting in traffic for probably easily 60 to 90 minutes of bumper-to-bumper traffic. And so I love you. I don't know that I love you that much, Phil. And especially on a Friday, I was like, you know what, we'll catch up next time you're in town, or maybe next time I'm in Fayetteville. Who knows?
No, it's perfectly okay. And I understand. That's the crazy thing about L.A. We go by as the crow flies in a place like Arkansas. The crow does not fly in Los Angeles because it's choked by smog anyway.
Yeah, whoa. Shots fired. That's inappropriate. No, it's funny. I was telling somebody not that long ago, obviously with the Dodgers having success, I live without traffic probably 15 minutes from Dodger Stadium without traffic. On a game day, to get from my house into the stadium, if I don't leave super early, I mean, we're talking 65, 70 minutes just to get into the parking lot. So yeah, it's a little bit of a different world. You get used to it. I hearken back to my younger days in Central Connecticut when life was easier, and when 10 miles, you could kind of, count, you could kind of set your clock to, okay, you're 10 miles away, that you know exactly how long it's going to take you to get to XYZ spot. But hey, listen, it is what it is, and I hope you guys are doing good.
Well, we're great. Hey, you got basketball tonight in Fayetteville. The Razorbacks play Little Rock. I just checked the scores or the schedule today because I thought maybe that a good chunk of the fans that would watch are Kentucky fans because they just seem to, I don't know. I know they're excited with what's going on with their Wildcats, but they just seem to be paying attention to everything going on with Arkansas as well. And look, the thing about the Razorbacks right now is anything that's going on the court is one thing. They got to get healthy. They need Adu back. They need Brazil back. And until that happens, I just am not quite sure what it is that I'm watching.
Well, no, I agree. And listen, there were a lot of injuries last year at Kentucky, and I think there was some thought of, is Cal doing something wrong? Is this guy doing something wrong? Is that guy doing something wrong? I mean, listen, and oh, by the way, are guys milking it, protecting draft stock, whatever. And so I bring it up because Adu and Brazil are so obviously injured. I mean, Brazil happened in front of all of us. And, of course, Adu, you could just watch him from last year to this year. You could tell he's not the same player. So I just bring it up to say, I agree with you, Phil, and I actually thought they looked pretty good the other night without Adu and without Brazil, and kind of let Adu kind of play that 4-5 spot, whatever, and whatever. But I agree with you. I think it's impossible to judge this team until you get some semblance of a healthy starting five and see what they're like. And I think the other thing too I was thinking about. This was always going to be the gift and the curse of how Cal decided to build this roster. Is I talked about it with you guys all summer long, all spring long, but they had the opposite issue last year, at Kentucky, where they lost some guys to injury over the summer, and that kind of they decided to bring in some extra guys, not knowing what those guys' health were. And then basically from there at Kentucky, it was a tough situation because when everybody got healthy, they had too many guys. And so it was a weird deal where Cal basically was vocal about, I'm taking 8 guys and we're rolling with them. And this is the reverse of that, the consequences of only having 8 guys. I still think he made the right decision, and I get why he made the right decision, or he made the decision that he did. But obviously the margins were very thin when you decide to basically roll with an 8-man rotation in the summertime.
Hey, Aaron, I was looking at some good college basketball games on this evening. You got Baylor at Tennessee and Duke in Arizona. Is that Baylor matchup zone that they like to do? How many teams play defense like Baylor and throw that zone? Because if you're not really used to it, it can kind of be a distraction. Are you a believer in Baylor?
Well, I think it's going to be tough to judge. I don't know if you guys got to watch the game last night, but they won a double overtime game at the buzzer, and their star freshman, B.J. Edgecombe, really screwed up his ankle pretty bad. He was limping around for the second half. So that's one of these tournaments.
Made that 3-point shot there at the buzzer, didn't he?
It was an awesome finish. Yeah, it was funny because that was one. It's Thursday. I'm sitting there. Maybe I should be watching the NFL, and I kind of just decided to put that game on. Not really thinking I was going to talk about it or anything, but just because I actually just wanted to watch it. And St. John's had 37 different chances to win that game. Baylor deserved to win. But, yeah, I don't know what we can really – like I think Tennessee's probably going to win because Baylor is just so exhausted. And I don't know that that's some, sweeping statement about Tennessee and the season they're about to have if they get the win. I will tell you, though, that Duke-Arizona game should be really interesting. Obviously, Duke has the one loss, but – even in the loss to Kentucky, they basically controlled that game for about 32, 33 minutes. before Kentucky made some plays down the stretch. And I'm not trying to diminish what Kentucky did, just saying that Duke was really in control. Arizona, though, is back at home. So I am very excited for that Arizona-Duke game. I think it'll be a fun one.
How dangerous is Alabama right now? I didn't watch the game, but I read about it. Like, Sears took himself out of the game because he just was like, this isn't my day. I'm going to let my guys go after it, and they went out and they got after it. I mean, it's he's potentially the best player, at least the highest scorer in the SEC, and they're winning games where he actually is saying, maybe today's not my day.
Yeah, Alabama's got kind of the reverse
Sounds
Arkansas
like
issue. They almost have – what's that? Sorry, I thought you said that. No, they have the reverse Arkansas issue. They have too many guys. Can you guys hear me? Are you guys having trouble hearing me?
Yeah, the unit, I can't hear him either.
You can't hear me? Hello?
I got you. I think it's on their end.
Okay. Let me know if I should hang up or what I should do.
1 2 1 2 1 2.
I can hear you, but I don't know if they can. Test.
Aaron, can you hear me, man?
I can hear you loud and clear. Can you hear me?
Yeah, it's me. It's Christian. Hey, just continuing on this conversation, you know, the Razorbacks basketball team, they've got a lot of new guys on their roster. What do you think the ceiling is for them this year?
Did we lose Phil and Matt?
Yeah, they've got to troubleshoot here.
So you and I are live on air right now.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk some ball. Christian, your name's Christian, you said?
Yes, sir. Let's get it, Aaron. Well, the Razorbacks.
No, we could talk the seal. We could talk Arkansas ceiling. I didn't really understand what was going on. Listen, yeah, I mean, listen, I picked them to go to the Final Four, so I'm hopeful that they have a pretty good season. I'll say this is I think we're starting to see the best versions of some of these guys. Like Adu Thiero was unbelievable the other night. Big Z, obviously, we know his backstory. So for them, it's just, one, it's about getting everybody healthy, because I do think when you get into league play, when you face the Janai Broome-type players, it's going to be a struggle. So you have to get Adu healthy. You have to get Trevin Brazile healthy. But Boogie Fland, I feel like, has made some steps. He was great against Kansas, struggled in those early games. And I'll be honest, I just think you need to build some momentum tonight against Little Rock going into the Illinois game next week. So I'm still high on this team. And Cal, traditionally, his teams get better as the season goes on. So I'm not selling any of my Arkansas stock just yet.
All right, AT, thanks for joining us, man. I appreciate it. Sorry for the technical issues.
No, it's okay. Good luck, Christian. Let me know if you need me, okay?
All right, thank you.
Kind of a big deal. People know me.
This is Halftime. You can now download our new app in the iTunes or Google Play Store. Listen anytime and anywhere on your favorite mobile device. Just search Hit That Line now.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Billy, your gas light's on. We need to stop and fill up.
No way, Jen. Gas around here is too expensive. We can make it a little further.
Billy, listen to your big sister. You don't need to drive all over searching for the lowest gas prices. Do what I do and use Upside.
Upside?
Do you live under a rock, Billy? Upside is the hottest cashback app out there. It's free to download, and you get real cash back for every gallon of gas you buy. I use it all the time, and I've already made around $200.
You can make that kind of cash back just for buying the gas you have to buy anyway?
Yes, I'm looking at the Upside app now, and there's a gas station at the next exit offering 25 cents per gallon cash back.
Okay, I'm stopping to download Upside and fill up my tank. Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code FRIEND to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, to PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code FRIEND for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code FRIEND for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
You're listening to Halftime live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
Hi, everybody. Larry Rath here for Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, where all we do is keep you rolling. If you're needing a used car, we've got them. Everything from the most affordable cash cars to road-ready certified with warranty. The best used cars your money can buy. And we've got a finance option for everyone, whether you have great credit and you're looking for the best rate, or you're needing to build your credit with a reputable lender. We've got you. Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center. All the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath.
Hey, Ty Richardson for JamMart. JamMart is always trying to save you money, and that's why they partner with Valero. Hook up your checking account to the Valero Pay Plus app, and you'll get 10 cents off a gallon, plus other special deals on holidays and more. JamMart and Valero, passing on the savings to you. Now available at the 3 Fort Smith Valero JamMart locations. And stop by any of the 6 JamMart locations in the area. JamMart, the leading gas station and convenience store in the region.
Today is the day. After countless hours of research, cutting back expenses, and 9 months of anxiously waiting for her, today is the day you finally bring home your new car. It's also the day to protect her with an auto policy from Shelter Insurance. Our policies are competitively priced and include new car replacement coverage if anything were to happen to your new baby.
Call Jason Hill in Greenwood or Wade Gilkey in Fort Smith.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
It's sad that we live in an unsafe world, but we do. Would you be able to show the police who was at your home if something was taken? Guardtronic installs alarm systems as well as camera systems. We here at ESPN rely on our Guardtronic installed cameras to keep an eye on what's going on around our building, as many of you do. Guardtronic has been serving the River Valley for over 60 years. Call Guardtronic for a free estimate so you'll be able to show the police who the bad boys are that took your belongings. License E50.
Watch every Hog game this season at Joe's Grill and Cantina. Your home for half-price apps and taps during every Hog game. With TVs all around the restaurant, you'll have a front row seat for all the action. Half-price appetizers like Joe's Sampler Platter, Ballpark Nachos, 10-layer dip, brisket nachos, and Mexican pizza. And ask about Joe's tailgate packages to make your football experience even better in the comfort of your home. Half-price apps and taps for every Hog game at Joe's Grill and Cantina. 3400 South 74th Street, across from Harps.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. Welcome back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Got a question or comment for the guys? Call or text 877-377-6963. Let's get back to the show with the voice of Arkansas Razorback baseball, Phil Elson, and Razorback football legend Matt Jones.
I think the basketball team and the football team, Matt, are identical number of point favorite against the upcoming opponents. Did I read 21-point favorite over Little Rock tonight, 21-point favorite against La Tech tomorrow? It's kind of rare. Well, 22.5 points, so it's not identical, but pretty close. Which one? Who's got the better chance of at least, 3-touchdown win or 21-point basketball win?
Well, I try to be honest, if not anything. I've seen the Hogs play against Baylor. They didn't play very well. They played a zone. So that's really the only hoop game I've seen. This football team, if they're not playing an SEC opponent, we're going to score 50. I mean, it's one of those deals where this would be like a Mississippi State game. This should be like a UAB game. Even Oklahoma State, I think we'll move the ball up and down the field and do whatever we want. I would like to see Singleton. I don't know what you do with Singleton. Do you play Singleton and give him some reps, and does it cause a controversy? But what if he plays good? I mean, that's a good thing to have.
We got to be up by a certain score for that to happen, do you think?
No, I'm just saying, but are you trying to protect him for somebody else not to come pluck him?
Sure.
You know, if he goes out there and plays well, you know, think of a team like Auburn. They need a quarterback. You know, you start looking around. I think Florida might have found their quarterback now. You know, LSU probably has one on campus. That when their guy leaves, you start going down the list.
I think the kid that Mississippi State had that played against Arkansas looked pretty good.
Yeah,
freshman.
The freshman A&M kid that's quick as a hiccup. I like him too.
Well, you certainly want to keep Singleton around, but I mean, in context of this game. Look, it's Conference USA, understood. Defensively, they play well, and I think they're going to try to do their best to keep the ball away from Arkansas. Just like run as much as they possibly can and try to play keep away in that sense. The thing I wanted to ask you about is this style of defense that I've heard Sam Pittman talk about how La Tech plays, that they utilize a robber, or they're calling it a patriot, as kind of a linebacker that's hanging back a few yards behind the line of scrimmage, and they make it really difficult for the blockers to get to him. And Sam's on the coach's show the other day says their gap control is great. They're just creating opportunities for this patriot, whose name is Colby Fields, to make plays, and he does. And a lot of times the runs are cut short at 2 to 3 yards, and it's not what you're looking for. And he says it's just much different. It's a much different style of defense than you usually see in the SEC or a major Division I team.
Well, what about this kid? Can we go give him an NIL deal maybe at halftime and get him on our team? If he's this good, I mean, I like it. If that's what you do. And you know, when you back in the olden days, you know, when you'd cover kicks, you got to have gap control. You got to be able to protect the field, and you squeeze it all in. But you have 2 or 3 guys that are headhunters. They just go to the ball, and that's what it is. You put your best guys. You go get the ball. You go attack it, and everybody else knows their role. And that's what it kind of sounds like they're doing.
Yeah, but the way I've pictured it is that you know who their number one tackler is, and you're going to try to get out and block him, but they just make it difficult to do that by keeping him, I guess, farther away from the line of scrimmage and where the usual blockers would be. So you got to figure that out. The other thing is, and Sam mentioned that this team plays a lot of Wildcat, which I don't think we've seen a single snap in Wildcat from an opponent this year. So another different aspect of it. And of course, when they throw it when they line up in the Wildcat, you're going to expect them to run the ball. So it's a different look, you know, than anything that they've practiced against throughout the season. And I mean, you go in just expecting that these games are going to be a walk, but La Tech has played a ton of close games, 3 overtime losses. You know, they just beat the team that was tied for first place in their league, and they're probably playing a little better than you know, you look at a 4-6 record and say, well, they're in just about every single game they play. And the last time Arkansas played a Group of 5 team, UAB has had much worse of a season than La Tech is having, and it took until the fourth quarter to put them away. You know, if something like that happens and you still win the game, it just kind of plays all the way into the narratives that we try to, you know, get away from, of playing well at home. And I think we've pointed out too often that it's about the SEC home games. It's all the home games. It's all of them. I mean, it's UAB this year. It's Liberty a couple years ago. It's BYU that year as well. It's not just the SEC games. And it can't always just be about the opponent and, you know, it didn't take them seriously or that kind of thing. That is just something I wonder about it. And as of now, it's, you know, outside of the Tennessee win, that's been kind of a defining characteristic.
Well, I mean, these are one of these games where you don't have to try to be something that you're not. All you have to do is be yourself, play fast, have fun. It's senior day. You know, if you're not a senior, go out there and make sure you send the seniors out the right way. If you're a senior, go out there, play fun. It's your last ever time. And I know it probably means a little different than it used to when you've been there 4 or 5 years, which we got a couple guys, but that have been there 4 or 5 years, and you have the portal. Everybody's only somewhere for 6 months, and then they go somewhere
But
else.
is that how you felt about senior day?
But
In your 3 years before your senior day, I'm taking the idea you had taken those games very seriously, of the idea of sending those seniors off the way you and your teammates wanted them to.
You just want to focus. You want to make sure you're focused up, because a lot of times your senior day game might be against an inferior opponent like this, and sometimes this would be the homecoming game, but sometimes it might be against an SEC opponent. But yes, it's the last ever time they'll ever play a game at that stadium, and you wanted to. I think we were 4-0 on our senior days. I can't remember, but it's something that's important. That it's the last time you'll ever get to play against some of these kids, Phil. It's the last ever time they'll put on shoulder pads and put on cleats and run through the A and play the game of football.
877-377-6963 to get in on that. We'll be giving away some tickets to the football game for tomorrow later on in this hour. We've got a couple pairs to give away that you can register for right now at hitthatline.com/mocklegal. We want to thank Mock Legal Solutions, Jackie and Matt, for bringing us out here, and also for doing this giveaway, and not just the tickets, but the $100 Walmart gift card will be given away very soon. And I think Ruskin and Zach have some of that stuff to give away as well. So, yeah, you got to go onto our station website, hitthatline.com. Register right there. You'll see Mock Legal at the top of the page. Click it and just register right there. It's pretty easy, and we'll be announcing some of the winners later on in this hour of halftime. Unanimous MVPs yesterday, Matt. I don't know if this has happened before, where both the American League and National League MVPs were unanimous. That's like undisputed heavyweight champion. Well, then what's all the fighting about? Unanimous seems to have a little bit of the same idea behind it. And look, for me, the way I look at this sometimes, like if you're an MVP candidate for the Yankees and they finished in first place, they might as well just give you the award, because people think there's a bias towards the SEC in college football, and I think amongst the writers and those who pay very close attention, there probably is, and there's a reason for that. But there is also a bias in professional sports for who's voting for some of these awards, sometimes based upon the city that they cover in. And I don't know if it's quite as heavy as it used to be in like the 40s and the 50s, when you'd have a guy win a Triple Crown like Ted Williams and yet not win the MVP. That happened twice. Writers had their own reasons for that. But I can believe it. I mean, I don't think anybody had a better year than Judge, and nobody had a better year than Ohtani. Thing is, neither of those guys did very much in the postseason.
When do you think that the NCAA or college football, because you brought this up, and I've known about this in basketball, where if you get first team, second team, you can get more money. And then you said Paul Skeens, if you win Rookie of the Year, you get to come off your rookie contract a year earlier. When are they going to do this in college football, where if you're a first team or second team All SEC, that you're able to earn more money than the other guys?
I've wondered about this too, because think of all the incentives that are written into the coaches' contracts.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and some of those don't have anything to do with actual on-field success. It has to do with classroom success in a couple of cases. You're right. I mean, there are salary escalators for 6 wins or 7 wins or 8 wins, bowl victories. Playing for a national championship, winning a national championship, all that kind of stuff. And there are all sorts of these kind of incentives. I don't know if they're, escalators, salary escalators for the athletes in the professional sports, but man, they've got tons of incentives. You get an incentive for finishing top 3 of the MVP, not just winning it, but finishing top 3. You get you'll get an added option year for winning this award or that award. And I think it could translate into college sports very well. Talk about a way to maybe keep players invested in playing in a bowl game. There's an incentive to winning the bowl game in that case. Not just a swag bag, which is cool, but, we've looked through some of these things that are in the swag bags and compare that to a $5,000 bonus or a $10,000 bonus, and it's peanuts.
It's like the the play-in tournament, or the cup tournament for NBA, I think everybody on the team gets $1 million if they win. I could see bowl games doing that, where the winning team, everybody on the team gets 50 grand, or gets 100 grand. Everybody on the losing team gets 50.
Sounds right. I mean, they're looking for all these reasons to give reason for the bowl games to mean something to the players, when I think some of us feel like it doesn't mean anything to them. And it isn't even just those who are opting out to go, train for the NFL. It's players that are going into the transfer portal that are going to go play for another team, and they're not doing the bowl game thing for the team they're currently playing for. So it's not just about guys getting ready for the NFL draft. And if that's the case, fine. That makes so much sense. It really does. If it's about, I don't want to play for this team anymore, and this separate, standalone, weird season called bowl season, which now operates outside of games that matter in that case, like the playoff 12, it doesn't mean enough for them to go out and play. I don't know. 20 grand can do that, maybe. I don't know. I'm just throwing a number out there. 877-377-6963 to get with us on Halftime. Quick break. Back to wrap up our number one at Mock Legal Solutions in just a moment.
Baby. This is Halftime.
Valley Family Dental, formerly known as Riley Farm Dental, at the entrance to Riley Farms, provides every type of dental care and procedure for you and your family. Dr. Sparkman, Farmer, and now Dr. Blaine Van Nice work to give all of their patients better lives with a better smile. Valley Family Dental, now offering same-day crown service. Mention you heard this ad on ESPN Radio at your next appointment and receive a free bleaching kit or $100 off in-office accelerated whitening. Call 226-3500 for an appointment or visit valleyfamilydentalpractice.com.
Ready to explore beyond the beaten path? Discover the Range Rover lineup at Land Rover of Little Rock. Experience handcrafted luxury with the capability to take on any adventure. The elegant Range Rover offers unmatched performance and first-class luxury. The Range Rover is built for every journey. Visit Land Rover of Little Rock today and explore our incredible Range Rover selection. Plus, take advantage of our promotions and recently revamped service department. Visit us at 25 Colonel Glenn Plaza Drive or log on at LandRoverLittleRock.com.
This is Bruce Stanton, Vice President and General Manager of Pradco Fishing in Fort Smith. Our number one volume lure out of our 20 fishing brands is the Bobby Garland Baby Shad. We make them by the millions in our facility in Fort Smith, and the Baby Shad is without a doubt the number one soft plastic crappie lure in the U.S. Fish it on a light jig head or underneath a float, and you'll find it's as productive as live bait. Available at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Academy, LureNet.com, and tackle stores all over the place. The Bobby Garland Baby Shad.
In the communities we serve, we know your energy is best spent on the things you enjoy. That's why we're helping you save your energy with natural gas. More efficient than other energy sources, save your energy for cheering on the Hogs. Be tailgate ready with your natural gas-powered outdoor grill. Enjoy fast, cozy comfort from your natural gas fireplace when ball games get chilly. At AOG, we know your Razorback pride runs deep. Ours does too. And so does our commitment to caring for the communities we serve with always on energy. Visit AOGC.com.
It's fall cleanup time at Gray Brothers Equipment. From the large M7 Series cab Kubotas to the L2502, the best-selling compact tractor in Arkansas and Oklahoma. Gray Brothers and Kubota will make your fall cleanup a breeze. With great pricing and interest rates as low as 0% for 84 months, they're making fall cleanup enjoyable again at Gray Brothers Equipment in Fort Smith and Poto, where if you pick orange, you'll never get a lemon. Now through 12/31/2024. See us or go to KubotaUSA.com for more information.
Today is the day. After countless hours of research, cutting back expenses, and 9 months of anxiously waiting for her, today is the day you finally bring home your new car. It's also the day to protect her with an auto policy from Shelter Insurance. Our policies are competitively priced and include new car replacement coverage if anything were to happen to your new baby.
See Agent Chris Dooley in Fort Smith.
Colorworks Paint and Body in Barling offers professional automotive painting, bodywork, and fabrication that is unsurpassed in talent and dedication. Owner Andy Harrod uses the latest in collision repair technology to ensure all damage is addressed, whether it's visible or hidden, and works with all insurance companies. Andy and his crew have the experience and commitment to give you complete trust in the repair of your vehicle, no matter the size of the job. Colorworks is located at 1206 Fort Street in Barling, across from Dollar General, and is on Facebook, where you can check out their work.
Network. Hey, Hog fans, it's Zach with the Ruskin and Zach Show. Join me this Saturday, November the 23rd, from 10 to noon at the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville for ESPN Arkansas's Game Day pregame show. Robert, Elizabeth, and Matt at the Stadium Shop will have a buy one regular priced clothing item, get a second equal or lesser value, half off, including their new Nike apparel and jerseys. With the largest selection of Razorback merchandise south of the North Pole, it does not get more Razorback than the Stadium Shop. ESPN Arkansas Game Day show live at the Stadium Shop on Razorback this Saturday from 10 to noon.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Gotta keep them separated.
Welcome back into Halftime Live from the Crabtree RV Studios. Crabtree RV Center in Alma, where we make your dreams come true.
Live halftime at Mock Legal Solutions in Fort Smith. We got Matthew Mock with us here. Is it Matthew or Matt?
Whatever you want to say.
What when you were working with us at ESPN Arkansas, what was it?
It was Matt.
And here with the legal firm where your wife is the principal attorney.
Probably Matthew.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Matthew Mock is with us here on halftime from Mock Legal Solutions. We appreciate you having us
Hey,
here.
thanks for coming.
Gino's Pizza, that's delicious.
Yeah, come on by, grab some Gino's.
Hey, that's the pepperoni that curls upward, which for me is the kind of pepperoni that I can get with. There is no such thing as pepperoni that curls downward, by the way. Pretty sure about that. So I saw you guys are opening another location, right?
We do. We're opening our second location in Salisaw. It's right across from the courthouse. It should be open. Well, it was going to be open November 5th, but remodeling's taking longer. But first of the year, we'll be up and running. Staffed, ready to go, serving Sequoia County.
Still handle the same kind of things in Oklahoma that you can in Arkansas?
All the same things, personal injury, divorce, custody. We do a little bit of everything, not so much heavy like felonies or anything like that. I kind of stay away from that. That's not really our cup of tea, but everything else we handle.
Personal injury as well?
Personal injury, yeah. So my wife was 13 years in personal injury before we opened up this firm. So that's kind of her bread and butter, her specialty. She knows all. She can fight the insurance companies. She was on both sides of it, so she is really, really good at that.
It's kind of specialized, though, in family law?
Family law, yeah. So when we started this about 2 years ago, we wanted to be different. We wanted to, be an advocate and not just a money taker. So many attorneys will just take your money and look you in the eye and say, hey, I can do this for you. And knowing good and well they can't. And so part of my job is when you come in here, you sit down, you talk with me, I listen to your story. If I think we can help you, I'll tell you. And I'll tell you if I don't think we can help you. So you don't waste your money here. We also take payment plans, down payments. So, those $5,000 retainers, the average person can't just plunk down a $5,000 retainer. We do just a down payment and then you pay it out over time. And you always know what you owe, flat fees. There's no hidden costs.
I know that's the thing people worry about if they're sitting, and it's in any business setting, is that they feel that there's some things that are kind of being hidden from them.
Yeah.
You're not doing that. I mean, it's upfront from the very start.
From when you sign our rep agreement, it has a price on it, and that's what you pay. I'll never hit you back up 3 months later and say, hey, you've burned through this money. Every time you call an attorney or you text an attorney now or hit them on social media, they charge you. Normally it's like $85 a text or an email or a phone call. You can burn through your money real fast, and we don't do that. I mean, you have access to my wife and our paralegal staff and myself included, and anytime, day or night. And it's not uncommon for us to be texting you at 11:30 at night because we work. I mean,
we've got to be on the client's hours, right?
Right, and that's what we cater to.
Well, obviously it's work that's got to be filled with, it's an emotional thing.
Absolutely.
If you're talking about relationships that are breaking up, families that are breaking up too, it's really touchy. I know people want to feel like they've got somebody that is well, we had a little Rocky joke before we got on the air. You want to have Mickey in your corner.
You do, absolutely. Yeah, that's a good one to have in your corner. We have a personal relationship with all of our clients, and it's tough to turn off, and so we don't. It's kind of hard at night, late at night, talking about someone's gonna lose their kid, but we're there to help you. We care. I promise you, we care.
Well, you can't do this kind of work if you don't.
True.
Because you can't fake that.
No, and people can know if you try to fake it. And I have clients all the time tell me, "Oh, you really do care." Well, yeah, we do care. We want the best outcome for you.
Well, that's good to know, and I think you might, people will hear that, I think, wherever it is they go. But I think when you sit here and talk with you one-on-one, you'll feel it. It's not just hearing it; you'll feel it at the same time. It's Mock Legal Solutions. We got a giveaway. We got tickets and $100 Walmart gift card.
Yep, you guys got some football or basketball tickets to give away, and we've also got a $100 Walmart gift card for you guys to give away, and we got another one this afternoon to give away, and a Christmas tree as well, fully loaded Christmas tree.
Nice. So when do we want to give? Wow, the whole Christmas tree with like everything that comes with it.
Tree, ornaments, garland, the wrap, the stand.
The holiday spirit, I like
topper, yeah.
You guys take it down for them after the holiday too?
They got this tinsel up out front, man. They got it going on now.
Oh yeah, we put our stuff up November 1st around here. Christmas goes up November 1st.
I fully appreciate the idea that after Halloween, once you take down the spiders, you can get up the trees.
That's
and
right.
Everything. Makes perfect sense. Matthew, it's great to see you again, and thanks again for having us out here.
I appreciate it.
And are we going to give these the Walmart gift card in about an hour?
About an hour.
Okay,
Sounds good.
We'll do that in an hour.
Sounds
So you
good.
got another 60 minutes to go to hitthatline.com/mocklegal and enter to win the $100 Walmart gift card. And you can call us or text us right now on our hotline, 877-377-6963. Grant Hall coming up in about 20 minutes. Stay with us.
Up to $10,000 off or $7,000 off and 0% financing on select 2024 GMC Sierras at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The 24 GMC Sierra will conquer the road with confidence. Up to $10,000 off or take $7,000 in discounts and 0% financing with approved credit. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
Hey, this is Dr. Charlie Liggett at River Valley Smile Center. You may know me as your local dentist, but I'm a giant Hogs, Dolphins, and college baseball fan as well. Listen to me, Phil, and Matt talk about our 3 ups and downs for the weekend every Monday on halftime at 12:15. At River Valley Smile Center, we're a comprehensive dental facility that offers children's dentistry, dental implants, sedation, whitening, and much, much more. Dr. Cole Johnson, Dr. Hannah Cabe, and myself are located at 8309 Phoenix Avenue in Fort Smith. River Valley Smile Center. When you come here, you become family.
Waldron Wave Rural Connect. Internet is now available in your area. Fast fiber internet and full-featured home phone are ready for you. This covers areas around Waldron, Bates, Winfield, Y-City, and more. Check out your address online today. The best whole home solution of internet and phone, all from a local provider you can trust. Order online at signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
It's Ty Richardson with owner and operator Cecil Gardner with Jazzco Graphics, 16 years in the industry. Cecil, this is the one-stop shop.
Yes, Jazzco Graphics Design, the one-stop shop, 2415 Midland, for your custom or buck order.
Why ESPN 95.3?
I really enjoy listening in, and it keeps my day going while I'm at work. Jazzco Graphics Design, 2415 Midland. It's on the corner of Midland and Kelly. Jazzco Graphics, the one-stop shop.
This is Daryl Johnston with Hashtag Managed IT Services. We are excited to now be part of AAA Business Systems. Hashtag will continue to handle every IT need your business will have, and now, as part of AAA Business Systems, we can handle all of your document printing and storage solutions. Together, we have the expertise to meet all of your office technology needs. Find us online at aaabm.com or call us at 471-1771.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today,
Lots of sunshine. Our high temperatures this afternoon, low 50s north, upper 50s south. We will see some frost tonight. Overnight lows will drop down in the low to mid 30s. Frosty start to Saturday, then sunshine. Our high on Saturday in the low 60s, and Sunday back in the upper 60s to low 70s. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by In Good Spirits, Fort Smith's premier source for fine wines, specialty beers, and liquor.
KERX Paris Fort Smith. This is Halftime, coming at you from the Crabtree RV Studios on ESPN 95.3. Coming to you live from the Crabtree RV Center Studios.
Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com. You got a team in here that's the perspective. If I'm all right. Why can't they dominate? And we not doing it. We're gonna go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field. Yeah.
Both said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's halftime with Bill Olson and Matt Jones.
From the bottom of my toes to the top of my head. What's my heart, dog? Let's go, man.
The angles were so bad, we showed them at halftime.
What angle one Razorback?
Like, what in the world were we thinking?
It's vintage Matt Jones.
Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Olson and Matt Jones.
Back for hour number 2 as halftime continues on a glorious sunny Friday afternoon, 1 minute after 1 o'clock on ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com. It is actually 1 minute after 12 o'clock. I think Matt had tried to put us ahead of the show a little bit. I'm okay doing 3 hours today, but I guess somewhere in the back of my mind I wanted to do just 2.
Ooh, East Coast time. I like it.
Okay.
Yeah, we're almost there to the golden hour.
It was the sneeze that I had like 5 seconds before we went on the air that I think threw me off. I hate when that happens because then you get that. I don't want to snort on the air. I don't want to hock a loogie on the air. I don't want to blow my nose on the air. But when you sneeze 5 seconds before you go on, all of a sudden you're all stopped up. What am I supposed to do about this?
You're so good looking.
There, that helps. You just say something for 4 seconds and I can clear the mechanism somehow. The mechanism being my sinuses.
Well, I could tell he wasn't going to say anything. I sneezed twice, man. I was waiting for the second one.
We're going to be giving away tickets to Arkansas La Tech. See, we got some seats in Section 503. 4 seats, in fact, that we'll be splitting evenly. We got some seats for the basketball game tonight in Section 111 to be given away because attendance is such a topic in basketball.
Soccer game, basketball game, football game.
Lots going on.
I mean, it's up on the hill. This is the weekend.
And then women's hoops on Sunday as well.
Women's hoop, man. I checked out, man. I try to, I told you earlier in this year that I'm not going to, if when your expectations are there, you're not going to pile on. You're not going to jump on. You're not going to do anything like that. And I flipped on the game for a second and really, about 3 possessions and saw the score. I don't know how you do it, man. It's you got your baseball team, pretty cool. You're competitive, you're winning games, and then that's a tough watch getting your head bashed in by 30 every time you go out.
Yeah, and I mean, like losing at UCLA, I think no matter what the score is one thing. That's a national contender right there with a roster that's probably making anywhere between $1 and $1.5 million in NIL. That's on the short list of NIL for women's hoops. Oral Roberts is a different story, and a loss by 21 at home to Oral Roberts is just, I mean, there's no other way to look at it that like okay, this should not happen, but why does it happen? That's usually the direction that I go in this here, and it's nothing about the game in and of itself. I mean, it's a complete roster rebuild. NIL is a major reason why, and I think another reason why is that last year's team just could not stand to be together in the same room. Is that on the coach? Well, the coach ends up responsible for the personnel that are on the team, whether you want to admit it or not. I mean, you can't make people get along, but it is that group that you put together that couldn't get along and was basically falling apart in terms of personnel, leaving the team even before the season started last year. And then you get, one of the top players in Talia leaving halfway through. It's just there were things that were not necessarily NIL related. I think it was personality conflict related, or just people not being who you thought they were in terms of maybe some of the athletes. So then they all go to disparate schools. They're getting some playing time in some cases, I think, except for Dowda. Jersey's coming off the bench at LSU, about 18 minutes a game.
Wow.
Samara is starting. She is the leading assist maker for Tennessee. Talia Scott was she was hurt to start the season, but she's played the last two. She just scored 27 against Oregon in a loss. Dowda isn't playing much, but I have a feeling, you go to South Carolina to play as a backup center, full well, and she's got another year of eligibility, that she might have a chance to play a lot more next year. But all four of these places have so much more to offer players in terms of NIL dollars than Arkansas does. It's different than, like going to play at Vanderbilt, leaving Arkansas and going to play for, just throw out like a Missouri, that kind of thing. These are programs that have put, I think, a lot of NIL dollars into it. And then you got to find a way, because you don't have – look at where the players have come from that he's rebuilt with. I feel like Mike is trying his best to play a version of women's basketball Moneyball, because you don't have the financial resources that most of the other schools in the SEC have, and you got to put a team together somehow. I mean, why did Bean go and change Scott Hatterberg into a first baseman? I mean, that's like, I don't even need to go through all of those things. The reason that Moneyball became a thing is that you had a franchise that had nowhere near the amount of resources that the Yankees and the Dodgers had, and so they find other ways to put a team together that looks for value where other teams don't. But that team had a core group of pitchers that already was there, and that's why they were so good that year. There's no core that was still here at Arkansas for Mike's team. Nothing. There were a few players that came off the bench, a couple of players that were pressed into starting duty late last year. It can't be a surprise that they're struggling to start the season. People don't want to hear about the idea of patience. There is some talent on this team, and there's talent on the way. I think when Phoenix Stoutine, is eligible to play next month, hopefully that helps somewhat, but you can't put all your hopes in a true freshman. I think there's something to build on, but I think it's going to take a full year in order to get there, in order to where you feel like there's some progress moving forward. And I think to myself of like the 2016 Arkansas baseball team, which was Dave's only team that didn't make the NCAA tournament. That was a bad baseball team. They lost the last 16 games, and they were put in a position that they didn't realize they would be in. Benintendi was draft eligible the year before. That caught them by surprise. Bobby Wernis going into the draft caught them by surprise. A couple of other things. They didn't have the team in 16 that they thought they were going to have, and they turned out with a recruiting class that was thrown into playing duty. Guys like Grant Cook, Blaine Knight, Carson Shaddy, guys that might not have been playing at that moment. And those guys went through an incredibly difficult year. 2 years later, they're national runners-up. It was the same group of guys. I'm not trying to tell you that this is a women's basketball team that's going to make the Final Four in 2 years. But it's also an unfortunate thing, I think, for Mike and the coaching staff that in today's age, you don't really have the opportunity to develop players the way that Dave's staff did then. Heck, Dave's staff now doesn't even get that opportunity to develop players for 3 or 4 years that they had back then. It's a different world. So it's a really difficult place to be right now, Matt.
I see. I mean, those four ladies you talked about, and Jersey. I saw her play high school ball. I thought she's doing her thing, but it's just tough when you can't keep your talent on campus because it's not amateur athletics anymore. It's you gotta, whatever you think of amateur athletics, that's not what college sports is. And if you don't have any coin, what I don't know what you're going to do. It's just you're going to get your head bashed in.
And you know, I can point to the idea of trying to find value where it isn't there. But anytime you can point to what the Oakland Athletics did, you can point to the idea of Mark Mulder, Barry Zito,
Troy Hudson,
and Tim Hudson. All right? So you can take the Moneyball idea, say these are three aces. You got to have some kind of core to build around. Otherwise, it's still difficult to play Moneyball. We're finding that out right now. Charlie's with us. Good afternoon, Charlie. How are you?
I'm great, guys. You guys are talking about stuff that it makes it difficult for me to be like in a situation that Mike Neighbors is in. Let's just fire him because, you know what I mean? Like, you know how
well,
people
yeah, Charlie,
are.
that's everybody's solution. That's everyone's solution is to fire the coach and then go get the next, the next, your guy at Indiana who's, Cignetti.
Yeah.
Cignetti.
There's only so many of them. There's one of them right now.
That's what I'm saying. So it's like, okay. So let me, does people not understand that? What do you think the first thing, any coach that comes to Arkansas right now, outside of baseball or basketball, what do you think the first thing are they going to ask about? Compared to what it would have been 15 years ago. So what do you think the first thing they're going to inquire about when they talk to that AD? What do you think that is?
They're talking about NIL funds, Charlie. How cannot that?
Yep.
It's like the same idea of what a candidate for an NFL head coaching job could be if he's leaving a coaching job that he likes. How much are you going to invest into this team? Because I'm not coming here to play for a team that's making peanuts. Essentially, is the way I'd view it.
Absolutely, and that's what I'm saying. So that's why I don't understand people's expectations sometimes, because it's like you want all this, but they're not. It's not like it used to be. So like everybody used to say, well, Arkansas's got all these great facilities, and they got these great this and this. But now it is exactly that. It's exactly NIL, and that's obviously. You have to understand, like, what are they gonna? Who are they going to go get that's better than Mike Neighbors? Nobody, in my opinion. What are you going to do? That's just the way I look at it, especially if you're not going to give him nothing money-wise to work with. I'm just stating facts. And it kind of goes in line with, like, Pittman, too. Like, look, let's just be honest. If we're looking at it in totality from an SEC standpoint, let's just be real. Arkansas's towards the bottom football-wise, NIL-wise. It's been proven, and so it's hard for me to be like, yeah, you know what? Unless they just go out there Saturday and stink, how can y'all tell me what? It's like people want like all of this and that, but like, how you've been holding Brian from, he needs to pay tie up, right, Phil? Oh, Brian needs to pay tie up. Well, it's like, look, people, if you're going to complain, like, my thing is complain, but then, help us out a little bit. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm not trying to call nobody. I know it's hard. I get it. But, like, for me, like, I've always tried to support the NIL thing, but me sending $100, that ain't going to do nothing. I send it, but, we just need the help. But I'm hoping that this thing that comes out in April next year really helps us. But I don't know. It's tough right now being
I
a
think
fan,
it will, but I think what it ends up doing, if you think it's killing collectives, it just ends up chasing them underground somehow. Now we're just finding new ways to cheat. But that's partially my hope, Charlie, and it's good to hear from you. My hope is that there's a little bit more of a level playing field because everybody can offer the same salary from school to player, but if you think NIL's going away in terms of, some team having or some school having an advantage over another, it's not. It's not going to go away. It's just going to end up going where it was before when NIL was called cheating. And there'll be legal NIL. That's going to be the thing. How can you take something that is supposed to be legal and pay somebody a little bit more or a lot more, and they don't have to do anything for that money, and then that's the cheating. But the collectives may end up going away. I don't think NIL money is going to go away either. 877-377-6963 to get with us on calls and texts. We'll have a break, and Grant Hall joins halftime after this.
We all go a little mad sometimes.
This is halftime.
Hey, it's Ty Richardson, and we are live at Lily's Sandwich Shop in the Bakery District. Jose, but what we got whipping up today, man?
Man, today's special, we have the French toast turkey melt, kind of a special sandwich. It really didn't put us on the map, but it did put a star by our name.
Daily specials every day at the award-winning Lily's Sandwich Shop. And if you don't believe me, ask Lily.
My name is Lily. My papa makes the best sandwiches at Lily's Sandwich Shop. Come by and see him at the Bakery District today.
Up to $10,000 off or $7,000 off and 0% financing on select 2024 GMC Sierras at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The 24 GMC Sierra will conquer the road with confidence. Up to $10,000 off or take $7,000 in discounts and 0% financing with approved credit. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
This is Northside head football coach.
On ESPN Arkansas, download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
It's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, Sakhalin.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for online betting. From the earliest odds to in-game live betting, BetOnline provides you with all the action and the ability to watch the games as they happen. With the largest selection of odds on everything from football, NBA, and college basketball, NHL to UFC and MMA. Head to BetOnline today to get in on the action with America's most trusted site for online wagering. BetOnline, the game starts here.
Hey, ESPN 96.3 and HitThatLine.com. Have you been to Swark Liquor? Trey Gentry and his team have a phenomenal spot. It's the first liquor stop in Arkansas for our Dallas and Texas fans traveling up to the hill. So if you're heading to Fayetteville, the lake, a cabin weekend, hunting, fishing, or any other activity you need your favorite drink, stop by Swark Liquor. And check out their apparel too. You'll want to wear it. Swark Liquor, 864 East Collin Ray Drive in Queen, Arkansas. Swark Liquor, we promise to keep them cold for you.
Hey everybody, this is Tyson Van. Dad, tell everyone about your job at Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash.
Power washing, son. I've been working in the business for over 15 years, all over the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas, residential or commercial. At Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash, our cleaning services include exterior home, fence, driveways, walkways, gutters, pool deck cleansing, and more.
Call my dad at 479-763-5561.
Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash. One call, cleans it all.
On ESPN Arkansas, download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN. Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Hey, now, baby. All over again. All over again.
Make sure to follow Halftime on Twitter at Hit That Line AR and on Facebook and Instagram at Hit That Line. Call or text 877-377-6963. Now back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
We usually talk to him on a Wednesday. We're going to get a chance to talk to him on a Friday today, and it is Grant Hall who joins us on halftime right in the middle of the day on a Friday, man. Usually it's it's earlier in the show in the middle of the week, Grant. So I don't know what to do with this. How you doing?
It's very disorienting, isn't it? Yeah. Well, it's a beautiful day in the Ozarks, so that's good. It should be great for the football game tomorrow.
Yeah, and soccer later today and on Sunday as
Basketball,
well. So
yeah,
that's absolutely. Football. Teams got things right there in front of them. We got so many people that have made their decisions already that the coaching staff, well, first of all, they don't put it in terms of the coaching staff. They just put it in terms of Sam Pittman. Usually it's, I like the coordinators, but I don't want the head coach, right? So, as if they don't all come as a package deal in this case. But really, I think it's all right there in front of them. I shouldn't say all right there in front of them. You got an opportunity to finish a regular season with 7 wins. I think that is incredibly realistic. And that would be just a major improvement upon last year. And I mean, I think it's something that can happen, and I think you can expect it.
Well, they got to start tomorrow, obviously, and they have to deal with a Wildcat. Remember the Wildcat, Gus Malzahn's offense that he used? Louisiana Tech does a lot of that. They have rushed the ball well recently, including in that 12-7 win at Western Kentucky. So they probably have a little bit of confidence coming in. They're 4-6, I think, and they've had a lot of close games. And this is not one that we've seen Arkansas come a cropper in too many of these types of games in the last years, and they need to take care of this business first, and then go after a Missouri team that I'm sure is disappointed after a kind of a last second. They lost one the way they've been winning in them the last few years, and we'll see how that affects them.
Grant, there's been a lot of talk about the backup quarterback, and going into this game, do you want to see Singleton start? Do you want to see him play, or do you just want to see Taylor Green play better? What do you want to see? And I don't put everything on the quarterback, but the quarterback gets too much credit when you win, and they get too much of the blame when you lose. What do you want to see out of the quarterback play against this La Tech team? And who do you want to see?
Well, it feels, Matt, as if Taylor, I think, should be able to run the ball pretty effectively if he's healthy, again tomorrow. And I think he gets confidence from that. A lot of his issues, I think, this year have come from just decision making. Whether it's, I thought Jordan Rogers did a good job and analysis of talking about the plays where where Taylor could have run the ball. And then maybe, we've seen him, you talked yesterday, I think, about the open receivers that he's missed. And I don't think he's that far away. He can be really good, and maybe this is a game tomorrow that he can be good in.
What do you do about Singleton for the offseason? Because one of the reasons I think, Matt, that you'd like to see him play on Saturday is for him to feel like he's actually playing football here at Arkansas. And if Green comes back, which I fully expect he does, that they compete for playing time in the spring. Because you've seen enough of him to think this kid could lead an offense in the SEC.
Is Singleton going to be a sophomore next year? That's what I wonder, is how many years does he have left? Does he want to back up for one more year? Should there be a competition? Because right now it doesn't look like there is a competition. It looks like there's a clear cut. Taylor Green's number 1 and Singleton's number 2.
See, and Grant, I feel like if you don't at least make the semblance of some kind of competition for some play, you're going to lose one of your quarterbacks, or maybe you just go into the offseason accepting that that's going to happen, and you got to be okay with it.
It's just, in this day and age, it's just so hard to know what the roster is going to be at every position year to year. I mean, is a kid going to find more NIL money somewhere? We've seen what Sanders has done at South Carolina this year, for example. Look at Pooh Paul at Ole Miss, and it just happens. I mean, I went to the women's basketball game last night, Phil, and we were reviewing, I guess it's 5 players from last year's team who are playing other places now. I think 4 in the SEC, and Poffenbarger at Maryland, and she came off the bench and scored 12 the other night. Talia Scott's doing great. So, on and on, and not having Sasha Goforth, who only was able to play 7 games last year, and now she's helping. So that's really 6 players, and you can see it. I mean, it's a struggle for Mike Neighbors, and you could hear his frustration in post game last night. Really, I kind of thought for the first time, Mike's usually a pretty positive guy, but you can see he's kind of reeling a little bit. And they got an Arkansas State team coming in here Sunday, and that's going to be a tough game. And is he going against your old team and all that stuff? So I'm not sure how I got onto that, but it was just on my mind from being there last night.
Hey, I just saw where SMU coach Rhett Lashley just signed an contract extension. So you had the coach from Indiana signed a contract extension, and Lashley's 27-10. And he won the an AAC. Now I know they're in a different conference, but man, good for him, keeping him there for a while, so it doesn't look like he's going to be on the move. SMU, do they make the playoff 12 this year? Does Indiana as well? These are the two coaches that have signed contract extensions. Both of these teams get into the playoff 12 this year?
Well, I read some quotes from Rhett today, talking about he's not looking any more past the next
That's
game.
Right.
Yeah, that's right. And they've got an avenue to get there if they can keep winning. It's interesting. There's a game between Arizona State and Brigham Young, and the winner there, I'm not sure, Matt, what chance that is, but Arizona State, who's ever heard of them in college football in the last, I don't know, I guess
Herm Edwards was there,
Edwards
huh?
did, yeah, he did a little bit, and then he got in trouble, but there's a team. So this 12-team playoffs got a lot of teams. I guess it's good for college football. I mean, it's good for, fans of a lot of different teams hoping their team can get in, and maybe one of these years Arkansas can be in that position.
Well, you know what that ends up to, because you look at the teams that have had like the flash in the pan kind of success in the last couple of years. It was TCU, Dykes' first year. They haven't done anything like that in the 3 seasons since then. Deion Sanders at Colorado, which is, I think, different than any other situation that we've ever seen in college football, and Cignetti at Indiana. And I think that ends up putting – pressure is not the right word on administrators. It's the feeling in fans' mind that it's like, hey, if they can do it, well, we can do it too. And that can be true. It's just there's a reason why you call it a flash in the pan, because usually there's not a lot of like cooking oil in that pan, and you can't get the fire started sometimes. Nobody's ever done that in Indiana. The kind of turnaround in Colorado to me seems almost like it's just reserved for Deion and his kind of celebrity and coaching ability too. The guy can flat out coach, but it almost seems to me, Grant, you're just like, all right, well, they've done it there. Well, let's get rid of our coach and we'll find the next one who's just like that. It's just like I said earlier, there's not too many of those kind of coaches that do that kind of turnaround immediately.
Yeah, and on the other end of that, here's Norvell, who I think is 1-9 this year at Florida State after 13. Have we ever seen such a precipitous fall in 1 year? I mean, it's amazing, But I guess it's the era we're in, and how much rosters can change year to year. Yeah, I mean. I hear, it's funny is that Cignetti was very good at James Madison, and I think he's about 60. He's not like he's a spring chicken or anything, but he's been a good coach for a long time, and now Indiana is benefiting, and yet I hear people downing them for not playing anybody this year, and they're assuming they're going to get wiped out by Ohio State, and that might very well happen tomorrow.
I'm interested to see that game. I really am. Another one I'm interested in is the Army-Notre Dame game, the Pinstripe. It's not the Pinstripe Bowl, but it is up there in the Bronx.
They're playing this game at Yankee Stadium?
I think so.
Wow.
I think so. And Army actually has a defense, and we've seen, a team stymie Notre Dame before this year in NIU, and we've seen them kind of they can't get out of their own way. I don't know if they – if they can compete all 60 minutes with them, but are you giving Army any type of a chance to get past the Fighting Irish this Saturday?
I think maybe a chance to be competitive early, and then we'll see what happens when supposedly the superior depth and strength, takes hold in the state. It's kind of like I think Minnesota's playing Penn State.
That's
tomorrow.
a scary. That's a trap game for Penn State. I think I'd be worried if I'm Jimmy Franklin.
Is it the same for A&M Auburn?
No,
Auburn stinks.
I don't think. I think A&M's going to be okay. I think but unless they're looking forward, unless they're not, they come out and they're thinking because it is in Jordan-Hare night game. If they're looking forward to the next week, but
and that's a freshman quarterback, and Marcel Reed's been very good. He won that spot. He won the position, but.
And that defense, Auburn's not going to score 20 points on A&M. I mean, I just don't. That A&M defense is top 3 in the SEC, I think.
Yeah, that might be if somebody were looking for an upset, and does Hugh Freeze have still enough coaching ability left to make that they're 4-6. They got a chance for a bowl mathematically. I guess.
Means they have to beat Alabama, which, look, I get, Iron Bowl, and you never know what's going to happen and all of that, but it ain't happening this year. Same with the
It's kind of like Kentucky. Kentucky is 4-6 and has a mathematical chance, but look who they have left.
Auburn beat Kentucky, and Kentucky beat Ole Miss. I still don't understand college football.
I will not understand. That's the one game I can't figure out in the SEC this year. How did Ole Miss drop the ball at home against Kentucky this year?
Yeah.
If it was last year, I get it. In other years that Stoops has had, where they've had good teams and everything, and they've been a line of scrimmage team and all of that, I get it. Not this year. That one makes no sense to me, and who knows? That could be the game that keeps Ole Miss out of the playoff 12. Think about that.
Well,
if there is a team that gets left out, Tennessee could be left out. I can see Ole Miss being left out too, even though, Grant, they're playing so well.
Yeah, and Kiffin had to make a Newt Rockne speech at halftime they looked like they might lose their third game. And now here they are. Some people think they're going to win the whole thing. And they got Trey Harris coming back this week, who's been out a couple of weeks. So Ole Miss is looking pretty strong, I would say.
I want to ask one thing here, because you look at the basketball game tonight at Bud Walton Arena. Darrell Walker coming back with his team that he is coaching. Creed Williamson, Big Nasty's son, plays for the Trojans. It's one thing to have Walker coming back as a head coach. But it's a whole other thing when one of the guys that would be on the Mount Rushmore for Arkansas basketball, and his son is playing for Little Rock too. So it's for guys like you that covered those teams, it's going to have to be a little bit kind of wild.
Yeah, except I read, Phil, that this morning I believe that he's not expected to play because of injury, Creed, in this game.
Okay.
So that's disappointing. And of course, KK Robinson is out, I think, for the season or most of the season. So. And yet Darrell's team has played really well. They beat Tulsa at Tulsa 71-57 the other night, and they're better this year. They got a kid from the SEC, a transfer, I think from LSU, if I remember correctly. And Darrell loves this. He loves to come back here. I would say he played Musselman's team pretty close. What was it, maybe 14, 15-point game or something when he came last time, and he's really looking forward to this. I mean, they're going to give it a great effort, and I'm looking forward to see that tonight.
Grant, we'll see you Saturday at the football game. Looking forward to having you next week as well. Thank you.
All right, sounds good. Thanks, guys.
Thanks,
see you.
Grant. Grant Hall, usually with us on a Wednesday, so that just makes this last segment a bit of a Wednesday-ish Friday segment. Football season, of course, is near the end. They still got plenty of games left. Get over to Joe's Grilling Cantina for Razorback Football Saturdays. There are half-price apps and half-price taps as you watch the game. That's all day long. There's going to be endless enchiladas and $15 pitchers of beer, margaritas, and sangrias, and $2 Busch Light drafts during the game as well. That's Joe's Grill and Cantina, 74th Street, Fort Smith, right across from Harps, joesfortsmith.com. To get a look at the menu, you can also order online. On halftime, it's 877-377-6963. Stay with us. Back right after this.
Yeah, well, that's just like your opinion, man.
This is Halftime. You can now download our new app in the iTunes or Google Play Store. Listen anytime and anywhere on your favorite mobile device. Just search Hit That Line now.
It's that time of year, jackpot season. Play the new $1 Million Jackpot Scratch-Off ticket from the Arkansas Scholarship Lottery. You might just, win one. It's the biggest instant prize of the year, and that's just the icing on the cake. There's more than $50 million in prizes out there waiting for a winner. Be that winner. Try the new $1 Million Jackpot ticket in stores now at a lottery retailer near you. Happy jackpot season. Call 1-800-522-4700 for Problem Gambling Helpline.
At the Home Depot, we know Saturdays are for college football. That's why we have everything you need to never miss a play. Like North America's #1 home fire safety brand, Kidde. Because on a day full of football sounds you love, like fight songs, roaring crowds, and your favorite commentators... Like me, Kirk Herbstreit. The last sound you want to hear is... Defend your game time with Kidde and the Home Depot. How doers get more done. Based on total household installations as of December 2023.
This is halftime.
Witz Marine, your authorized Mercury dealer, is ready to take care of your winterization needs. With cold weather just around the corner, be sure to get your Mercruiser stern drives drained and flushed with antifreeze. For those with outboards, it's a great time to change the oil and service the lower unit. Plus, treat your fuel for a trouble-free next season. Don't get caught this winter. It's also a great time to repower the old boat with a new reliable Mercury engine. That's Witz Marine, your authorized repower center. 823 North 11th next to Wheeler Power Sports in Fort Smith.
Waldron Wave Rural Connect. Internet is now available in your area. Fast fiber internet and full-featured home phone are ready for you. This covers areas around Waldron, Bates, Winfield, Y-City, and more. Check out your address online today. The best whole home solution of internet and phone, all from a local provider you can trust. Order online at signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
At Arvest Bank, we believe in the power of serving others. That's why we're committed to working with and supporting those who serve our communities. From the ones who are making a difference in big and small ways every day, to those who are helping create better tomorrows. We appreciate everything you do, and we're proud to work alongside you. Because every community deserves a financial partner who cares. Arvest Bank. We believe.
Ready to explore beyond the beaten path? Discover the Range Rover lineup at Land Rover of Little Rock. Experience handcrafted luxury with the capability to take on any adventure. The elegant Range Rover offers unmatched performance and first-class luxury. The Range Rover is built for every journey. Visit Land Rover of Little Rock today and explore our incredible Range Rover selection. Plus, take advantage of our promotions and recently revamped service department. Visit us at 25 Colonel Glenn Plaza Drive or log on at LandRoverLittleRock.com.
You will never find a boring old burger at Art's Barbecue and Burgers in Fort Smith. Try the Wild West Burger, topped with a hot link, jalapenos, and Art's hot sauce. The Brisket Burger, with tender brisket and caramelized onions on top of their hand-patted burger. Or the famous Art Attack, with house bacon, smoked ham, an onion ring, and a fried egg. There are 10 different burgers to choose from, and they're all $1 off every Saturday. Art's Barbecue Burgers and more. Rogers Avenue, next to Buddy's in Fort Smith.
Hey, Hog fans, it's Zach with the Ruskin and Zach Show. Join me this Saturday, November the 23rd, from 10 to noon at the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville for ESPN Arkansas's Game Day pregame show. Robert, Elizabeth, and Matt at the Stadium Shop will have a buy one regular priced clothing item, get a second equal or lesser value, half off, including their new Nike apparel and jerseys. With the largest selection of Razorback merchandise south of the North Pole, it does not get more Razorback than the Stadium Shop. ESPN Arkansas Game Day show live at the Stadium Shop on Razorback this Saturday from 10 to noon.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. Welcome back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Got a question or comment for the guys? Call or text 877-377-6963. Let's get back to the show with the voice of Arkansas Razorback baseball, Phil Elson, and Razorback football legend Matt Jones.
We have some tickets to give away for Arkansas football Saturday, taking on Louisiana Tech. You know how I like to do this usually through some trivia stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll do it on the text line. How about we do this on the text line, and we'll keep it to football. So I've got 2 pairs of tickets. That's 4 tickets total. You folks will be sitting pretty much right next to each other, so at least make sure that you're friendly. And let's do this about Louisiana Tech. If I'm thinking, who do you think's the greatest football player in Louisiana
Bradstall.
Tech? Of course. First, he'd be 1-1. There are 2 other former Louisiana Tech Bulldog football players who are enshrined in the Pro Football Hall of Fame, because everybody knows Bradshaw. Who are the other 2? 877-377-6963. First 2 winners, first 2 correct answers are winners and get the tickets.
I had a teammate that Phil Elson to know all too well about from La Tech because he was a Pittsburgh Steeler. Troy Edwards.
Oh, I remember. First-round pick?
So I was there at his last year there in Jacksonville, and La Tech dude, he was you talk about a slot receiver that could go. He was the real deal, man. He was a stud. He was a beast.
Yeah, I remember him as a first-round pick. That must have been, I think that was around the time Cordell Stewart was still quarterback. He's not in the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
That's why I said him, because
So
he was a former teammate. Yep.
We do have one correct answer. Willie Roth played at Louisiana Tech. Of course, longtime tackle for the New Orleans Saints, and was inducted into the Hall of Fame 2012. Was Roth from Arkansas? He was. Pine Bluff. He is a Pine Bluff native. So there's one, and we do have a correct answer from Chandler in Van Buren. We already have the Terry Bradshaw answer. That's the easiest one, so that's why we didn't go in that direction.
You know your boy Duck Dynasty.
Well, I don't think he's in the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
But he was on that team.
Yes, he was.
Yeah.
Yes, he was, but he's not in Canton. He still has to pay to get into Canton, no matter how much money he has or how good he might have been in football.
True.
Fred Dean is the other answer. Dean was a former San Diego Charger and San Francisco 49er that was inducted into the Hall of Fame in 2008, played on the defensive line. So we do have our correct answers here. One from Chandler in Van Buren, and let's see, the other's going to be Wes and Harrison was the one who got that one right. So, all right, let me make sure I send in my bingo text so that you guys know that you're the winners. Congratulations. I'll get your names, I'll get your numbers, and I'll put them down, and I'll send them to Tommy, and he'll send you the tickets for football for tomorrow. And I still have a couple of basketball tickets to give away. If anybody can tell me the greatest basketball player in Louisiana Tech history, is that difficult? You remember, Matt?
Latrell Sprewell went to Alabama.
The mailman.
Karl Malone went to La Tech.
I think the floor is named after him in their building. Pretty sure about that. Karl Malone. Now, there's a guy that could have played in the NFL. If we have this NBA, NFL like argument, he, to me, looked like he could have had his choice.
Yeah, he could have played defensive end, or he could have played tight end. He was definitely tough.
These are the biggest biceps that I remember from a professional athlete in my lifetime.
And Ron Gant had the biggest quads.
And the second, one of the more active bats, too. Gary Sheffield had the most active bat.
He had that Jason Duffner waggle. He'd get up there, he'd just waggle.
You think to yourself, how could he actually do that? Aren't supposed to be kind of quiet? Like quiet there? All right, so who were my winners again? Did I get Chandler and Van Buren? Chandler, you get 2 tickets. And Wes and Harrison will get the 2 tickets as well. Christian, you can do it a lot easier than me if you can go to the text line and just take their names down, their numbers, and send them to me, because I can't do it while I'm talking, unfortunately. So the jobs that our show producers give to us here. 877-377-6963. We'll still give away the $100 Walmart gift card. I think we'll do that in like 10 minutes, and then give away the basketball tickets to Little Rock tonight. So we got to have to do that soon, because you got to make your plans. I mean, it is an 8 o'clock tip-off, so it's a little bit later. It's good for a Friday night. If you're going to have a late-night basketball game, Friday night should be the night to do it. And then have yourself a good old time the rest of the way. Chris says a Louisiana Tech running back had the FBS career total touchdown record. Kenneth Dixon from Strong, Arkansas. I kind of remember that name, but I don't remember if I ever saw him play before. So, yeah, Louisiana Tech. I had a football coach that I worked with at Henderson State, Scott Maxfield. He played center at Louisiana Tech. Been to Ruston a couple of times, and heck, we had one of those rare baseball series where the Hogs go on the road for an out-of-conference series. In 2021, we played in Ruston at, Matt, they call their ballpark there the Love Shack.
B-52?
Yeah, they call it the Love Shack, and it is a unique place. I'll never forget this because there was the dorm in left field that was kind of almost lining the left field fence, and there's a big grand slam hit by Jalen Battles in one of those games, and he hit it into one of the dorm rooms with all these students watching. And past right field, I don't remember which railroad it is, but it's a major railroad that goes right past right field, and there were fans the second day we were there that wanted to set up their – I mean, this is where they could watch the game for free and not have to pay. They'd set up like their little, patio chairs and whatnot on the right of way for the railroad, like actually on the berm that they'd constructed to put the railroad on. And I don't know, it looked like it could actually be incredibly dangerous. Just watching a baseball game and all of a sudden the train comes out and takes you with it. The last day of that series, there was a policeman that was patrolling by the railroad so that nobody would set up their chairs there. That's what I think of when I think of Louisiana Tech. And we give these tickets away, and that's part of it too. All right. We'll have Matthew Mock coming up in just a moment here on Halftime. We are at Mock Legal Solutions. Ruskin and Zach will be here too. They are going to be opening a new location in Sallisaw. You can come over here, and they've got pizza. They've got all kinds of drinks available for you if you just show up anytime throughout the day. We're here till 6. 3401 South 79th Street in Fort Smith. It's right behind Gino's Pizza, and that's what we've got inside the break room where they've got the pepperoni curled upwards. The only way to eat it. Back to wrap up hour number 2 of Halftime in just a moment.
They were so convincing in their argument. They swung me.
This is Halftime.
Deer hunting in the comfort of an enclosed 6x6 Lazy Man fiberglass box blind. It's affordable at Jelco Outdoors. Lazy Man Fat Girl Blinds, built here in Fort Smith with your choice of 6-foot or 10-foot tower blind platforms, starting at $22.99.99. Box blinds are great for taking the kids, with plenty of room and out of the weather. Check out the deer blinds at Jelco Outdoors. Hunt longer in the comfort of a Lazy Man box blind, sold locally at Jelco Outdoors. 4600 South Zero in Fort Smith.
Waldron Wave Rural Connect. Internet is now available in your area. Fast fiber internet and full-featured home phone are ready for you. This covers areas around Waldron, Bates, Winfield, Y-City, and more. Check out your address online today. The best whole home solution of internet and phone, all from a local provider you can trust. Order online at signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Let's see. Leaky faucet Tuesday. Water flooding the yard. Better put that down for the middle of the month when the bills aren't due.
Honey, what are you doing?
Planning our plumbing problems, of course.
You can't plan our plumbing problems, but you should plan our plumber.
What do you mean?
Like all important contacts, I keep Westark Plumbing in my phone. They're
On ESPN Arkansas, download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
It's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, Sakhalin.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse.
Some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
We got trophies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite. White perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for online betting. From the earliest odds to in-game live betting, BetOnline provides you with all the action and the ability to watch the games as they happen. With the largest selection of odds on everything from football, NBA, and college basketball, NHL to UFC and MMA. Head to BetOnline today to get in on the action with America's most trusted site for online wagering. BetOnline, the game starts here.
Hey, ESPN 96.3 and hitthatline.com. Have you been to Swark Liquor? Trey Gentry and his team have a phenomenal spot. It's the first liquor stop in Arkansas for our Dallas and Texas fans traveling up to the hill. So if you're heading to Fayetteville, the lake, a cabin weekend, hunting, fishing, or any other activity you need your favorite drink, stop by Swark Liquor. And check out their apparel too. You'll want to wear it. Swark Liquor, 864 East Collin Ray Drive in Queen, Arkansas. Swark Liquor, we promise to keep them cold for you.
Hey everybody, this is Tyson Van. Dad, tell everyone about your job at Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash.
Power washing, son. I've been working in the business for over 15 years, all over the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas, residential or commercial. At Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash, our cleaning services include exterior home, fence, driveways, walkways, gutters, pool deck cleansing, and more.
Call my dad at 479-763-5561.
Mike
Jr.'s Mobile Wash. One call, cleans it all.
On ESPN.
Sweet tooth, yellow thing, you dream in love.
Welcome back into Halftime Live from the Crabtree RV Studios. Crabtree RV Center in Alma, where we make your dreams come true.
More fun things to give away here at Mock Legal Solutions. We've got Matthew Mock with us right here. And by the way, I forgot. Am I supposed to refer to you as Cement Head?
I guess.
I was listening to the Morning Rush on my over here this morning, and Jackie referred to Cement Head. I thought she was talking about Ty.
I wish she was talking about Ty.
I did. I really did. It is no insult on Ty. That's just the way people talk to him around here. She was talking about you.
She's talking about me. No, your afternoon. The Dumb and Dumbers I like to call them. They coined that phrase when I worked with you guys.
Well, all right. So it has nothing to do with whatever product you put in your head?
No.
Or on your head?
Nothing to do with that.
It's a term of endearment when it comes from your significant other then.
Yeah.
That's
now
right.
She starts doing it at home now. No.
Well, at least you know what to answer to. We got various nicknames. Not every one of them makes it on the air.
It's better than, exactly. Some of the things she calls me at home. That's for sure.
Well, what do we have to give away here?
So we got another $100 Walmart gift card to give away. And
whoa, good stuff.
I drew a name. Amanda Bateman is our halftime $100.
Congratulations, Amanda, if you're listening right now.
We'll have all the gift cards. They're here, so you can come by and get them. We close at 12 on Fridays, but Monday through Thursday, 8:30 to 5.
So is it okay if they take this $100 gift card and use it to buy something for somebody else? Is that a form of regifting? To take a gift card somebody's given you and use it to buy a gift for somebody else?
If it is, I'm guilty of it.
I mean, it's okay to do, isn't it?
What about someone gives you like a $25 Starbucks card and then you give it as a stocking stuffer to someone else?
I don't know. It doesn't quite have the same feeling about it.
I'm guilty of that too.
Yeah, go buy somebody's coffee for them and tell them it came from your dad.
Yeah.
I do like these little these Mr. Peanut spreaders that we've gotten here.
We've got a whole case of them.
Where did these come from? It feels pretty random.
A client of ours is a big shot over there at Planters, and he dropped them off this morning. He's a ESPN listener, and so he came by and dropped. He'll be back here later. He likes to come at these things and.
Has he got the monocle?
Drink some beer.
Yeah, the more monocles, the better.
I'm a fan of it.
I mean, you could turn this into some sort of a Halloween costume too if you just stick 5 of them in your fingers here, and the next thing you know, you're almost like a Freddy Krueger of Mr. Peanuts.
Remember the old Saturday Night Live? Look at me, I'm crazy head and shoulder over my hand.
Mock Legal. We were talking earlier today about car wrecks and personal injury.
Yep. So that was my wife's. She was 13 years in personal injury, and we've recently added the staff to where we can handle it full time here. We've hired some medical and insurance paralegals that work here full time, and they can really push along the claims and get you paid. What kind of personal injury we handle, everything from car wrecks, motorcycle wrecks, bicycle incidents, slip and falls, and dog bites. Believe it or not, we can get you paid on dog bites.
It's just a matter of like where somebody is responsible for what might happen to someone else.
So a lot of homeowners insurance policies cover dog bites that we can go after. And as always, most for personal injury, there's no win, no fee. So if we can't win, we don't charge you.
So I see initially Jackie worked for the companies or the defendants.
She did.
As she went to the other side here, which has to be a reason for that.
Yeah. She goes after those insurance companies pretty hard.
I think people are intimidated by insurance companies.
Absolutely, and they've got all the team of lawyers behind them, and they can push you around, and we don't tolerate that. So in fact, she dresses up every Halloween as a certain insurance company's witch, and she puts on it's a certain insurance company, and then she has a witch costume that goes on top of it. So she's the witch of the insurance.
Are you the warlock of insurance then?
No, I'm not. I don't have such a
court jester of insurance.
Maybe the court jester. Yeah.
Hey, if you accept the nickname like Cement Head, you'll accept the court jester of insurance.
That's true. I'll take it.
I guess so.
Again, it's better than some things she calls me home. So.
But it's all in love.
It's all in love.
I don't know if it was all in love when it was Ruskin and Zach.
No, I don't know those guys.
Well, you get to hang out with them. Come in about like a little more than an hour.
A little more than an hour.
They'll be here soon enough.
I've had the pleasure of having him here 3 days this week. He's been down here using our conference room for his daughter has a basketball game in Fort Smith. So he comes down here and does the show.
I heard he was in Monte Carlo the other day. It turns out he was here.
He was here.
It was right here. This is Monte Carlo.
This was Monte Carlo. That's close.
It's sunny outside.
Sunny
sure.
outside.
Yeah. There's legal gambling somewhere. I don't know.
Everybody's got it on their phones.
Yeah, kind of. Like Bet Sarah's going to be talking with Neil Atkinson from Bet Sarah's in a little bit about it. Well, great. And I love the Mr. Peanut. I love the. Thank you very much for the Christmas ornaments.
Yeah.
The pizza, the drinks, and everything, and still got plenty of time to come out and visit with Matt and with Jackie and learn about how they can help you in terms of personal injury, divorce and custody, and the other thing, flat fees is something I want to get into next hour.
Flat fees, yeah, and we are a small business. We are a family-owned firm. We have children. We know things happen, and everybody that works for us is all related somehow. So we are a family firm.
The golden hour of halftime is fast approaching. Calls and texts at 877-377-6963. We're going to have a couple of basketball tickets for tonight to give away as well. Stay with us into the golden hour right after this.
Here with Grant Neal, General Manager at Rhodes Chevrolet. Grant, it looks like your quality and quantity of pre-owns just keeps getting better.
Yeah, it's really getting a lot better, and the reason is because we're selling more new cars. More new inventories rolling in, and with that, we get better trade-ins, which are the highest quality used cars we get. They're all going through our shop, getting a high-quality inspection from our certified technicians, making sure that everything works and it stops, starts, and steers safely, because we want everything out on the lot to be at a high quality. But we have something for everybody, whether you're looking for a cheap set of wheels just to get around, or you need a new primary car for the family, a new truck for work, whatever it is, I promise we're going to have something for you on our pre-owned lot.
What if someone needs financing or doesn't have the best credit? Can you help them?
Absolutely. Our finance director, Robert Good, is an expert at working with the banks. We've had people who said that they'll never be able to buy a car, drive out of here in a brand new set of wheels. And as we know, the Fed just did another cut in rates, so it's only going to get better as the year goes on.
2800 on the highway, Van Buren. It's Rhodes Chevrolet, where we make car buying great again.
The Study Basketball Training has moved to the Hangout in Fort Smith. With basketball training classes from kindergarten through high school, there is a spot for your athlete. Depending on your skill set and training needs, the Study offers 3 class options: fundamentals, advanced, and 94 feet. You can also work on your explosiveness with Vertimax training or perfect your shot on the Dr. Dish machine. The Hangout, 5400 Gary Street, or thestudyhoops.com for more details. Fitness, sports, and now the Study Basketball Training. Let's hang out.
Brothers Roofing and Restoration, a licensed and insured local roofing contractor in Arkansas. Since his playing days for the Hogs, Brother Alexander has been on rooftops, many years as an adjuster. And in the past decade as a roofing contractor, he knows how to help you through the insurance process while replacing your roof using only the industry's best materials. And being a lifelong Arkansan, he'll be here to stand behind his workmanship and warranty. Call 479-353-3877 to arrange a time for Brother and his team to inspect your roof.
Looking to protect yourself and your family this flu season? Law's Drug Store at 6802 Rogers Avenue offers the latest vaccines for adults and seniors in both COVID-19 and the flu. Law's Drug Store has friendly pharmacists ready to assist you with no appointment necessary. Call 452-6116. It's quick, it's easy, and in most cases, free with your insurance. Law's Drug Store, 6802 Rogers Avenue behind Outback Steakhouse. Open 6 days a week to care for you and your family.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, lots of sunshine. Our high temperatures this afternoon, low 50s north, upper 50s south. We will see some frost tonight. Overnight lows will drop down in the low to mid 30s. Frosty start to Saturday, then sunshine. Our high on Saturday in the low 60s, and Sunday back in the upper 60s to low 70s. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by In Good Spirits, Fort Smith's premier source for fine wines, specialty beers, and liquor.
You're listening to ESPN 95.3, KERX Paris, Fort Smith.
You sound like a participation trophy, Dad.
Coming to you live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com.
We got a good one tonight. You got a team in here that's respected. Ask me if I'm all right. Well, can't they dominate? And we not doing it.
We're going to go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field.
Yeah.
Both said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's halftime with Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
From the bottom of my toes to the top of my head. My heart, dog. Let's go, man.
The angles were so bad we showed them at halftime.
What they for one racerback?
Like, what in the world were we thinking?
It's vintage Matt Jones.
Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
Hour number 3 on a Friday. The golden hour is here. Welcome in. Can loosen the belt buckle a little bit. Can maybe take one extra button off the shirt if you're wearing a shirt with buttons. And just kind of relax for these next 60 minutes before Ruskin and Zach take over. Live here at Mock Legal Solutions in Fort Smith. Phil Elson, Matt Jones, and C45 Colton Little producing back in our studios. It was 24 hours ago, Matt. We were eating concretes from Andy's. And, man, I wasn't able to eat much for the rest of the day. I ate about an inch of what was in that thing. There was like 10 inches left in that giant cup. Feel a little bit better right about things today. So, we brought up yesterday Gino Auriemma, now the all-time winningest coach in men's or women's basketball history. And I was just thinking off the top of my head when I sat down this morning about some of the coaches we put on the short list of greatest all-time no matter what the sport is. Think of John McDonnell at Arkansas, Scotty Bowman, who I think has more Stanley Cups than any coach in NHL history, Casey Stengel, who I think people just think a little differently about Stengel and the genius he might have been, thinking, well, you had Yogi, you had Mantle, you had Maris, you had some of those great Yankees. Stengel basically invented the platoon, which a lot of teams have been using for years since then. I think Stengel is one of the greatest baseball managers of all time. Bill Belichick, Phil Jackson, Red Auerbach, Pat Summitt. Summitt still, I think, belongs on that short list in terms of women's basketball just because that was the first of, I guess you'd say the second of the dominant programs because Louisiana Tech was a dominant national champion for years under Leon Barmore. Rod Dado, longtime baseball coach at USC. John Wooden, of course. I think Gino Auriemma, to do it for that long, for the amount of success that he's had, and to be, and they win 4 national championships in a row, in an era of where it's really difficult to do that in sports. Pretty amazing. I mean, for me, Auriemma very well could end up being the best coach of my lifetime, just for the amount of wins and the amount of championships and the longevity that goes along with it.
Sir Alex Ferguson, he would be up there. Zinedine Zidane, the mafioso John Calipari would be up there when you start talking about that as well.
I think of, it's not like Auriemma was on a level below any of these people before he got that win to get him over Tara Vanderveer, but it's definitely, then you're like, all right, look at the list. Well, he's number one. I don't think you can argue something about number one. But I mean, it's been a while since they've been to the Final Four. I can't remember the last year won a national championship. It's just kind of
they were in the Final Four last year. They lost in the Final
Four. That's right.
Yeah.
But also to do it in different leagues. To move from the Big East to the American, back to the Big East, and just stay as dominant as you've been. It's and the thought too that, heck, I mean, the men's program continues to win national championships there, and yet the women's program continues to get an amazing amount of spotlight and success. And I just think Auriemma is outstanding. Chris says he's a Sir Alex Ferguson fan.
Arsene Wenger, that's another one. He was Arsenal, a team called the Invincibles. They're the only Premier League team to be undefeated in a season. So they'd be like the 72 Dolphins.
Think of Saban too, belongs on that list. So then why would all these other coaches are retiring now? I mean, even younger coaches that just don't want to put up with what do you got to do to put a team together. And it's not like Auriemma has made all the money that he needs. There's nothing that he can do at UConn that can change his legacy other than maybe, win a title in the new era of college sports. It's just like if you think of all the coaches that have left the game, and Saban, I think he's got plenty of time left if he wanted to coach. I think he puts plenty of effort in a game day, and I think he does a great job doing it. It's not like I don't think he was tired of college football or coaching necessarily. It was the realities of what it is to be a coach. I just wonder what is it that keeps Auriemma there? I mean, maybe he doesn't feel that it is as difficult as some other coaches do. Or maybe he's just figured out how to handle all of those things, and maybe he doesn't have to spend 75% of his time raising funds like we hear some other coaches talk about. I just, Vanderveer retired. Your boy at Virginia just retired. It's just there's all these great coaches retiring, and maybe Gino does at the end of this season. It doesn't seem like he's going to. I guess at some point you accept what you are, and you're used to being a coach, and you figure I'm still good at this. There's no reason to change, and I can adjust with the times. It looks like he has.
Yeah, you gotta be able to convey a certain message to these players and stay in tune and in touch with them. And I think to me that has to be it. It's the relationships you have with those young ladies that you're able to watch them grow and go on to and help them in their career, whether it be professionally basketball wise or professionally in the business world, or if they get into coaching. It's just, to me, that's probably what keeps him there, is the fact that you get to keep seeing that type of success and keep being a part of that type of life.
I was going to ask your opinion. A couple of these SEC football games coming up on Saturday, because it's not a great schedule this week. Ole Miss, Florida. It's in Gainesville. I think Florida's played a little bit better than maybe some expect. I like Lagway. It's just the way the Ole Miss defense is playing right now, and they're getting Trey Harris back. You remember how long the Ole Miss injury list was a couple weeks ago? And I think Kiffin was playing around in some cases, but I think they only had like 3 or 4 players on the list, so he must be taking things seriously. I'm not going by the betting line or anything here, but it doesn't matter to me how Florida played last week. I just see Ole Miss right now playing way too good, and I don't really know if that's going to be a great game.
Ooh, that was a good stretch right there.
Yeah, you've got a good series of stretches going on here.
Florida, Ole Miss, Phil, we saw what happened when Ole Miss played Arkansas, and you'd made the comment that Georgia wasn't going to lose any more regular season games.
And they did.
I don't think Ole Miss is. When they came to play Arkansas, man, their backs are against the wall. They're buttoned up. Their attention to detail. I just think I don't know that, this late in the year, it's tough. It's tough to win on the road. It's tough. People kind of figure out a couple things they can do well. Bar an injury or something, Ole Miss they're gonna win that game by double digits.
Georgia gets UMass. Oh my gosh, is that going to be ugly? UMass playing almost half an SEC schedule this year with Mizzou, Mississippi State, and Georgia. Mississippi State beat them by 25. Georgia's going to murder them. What else? Kentucky, Texas. You just see Texas playing really well. Kentucky's got 0 offense. That's also not going to be a pretty game. I think the Texas defense may outscore the Kentucky offense in that one. 20-point line. South Carolina has Wofford. Tennessee gets UTEP. Alabama, Oklahoma. That's one of those games when the schedule came out. Not just when the schedule came out. It was when OU joined the league, and you think, wow, those teams are going to play each other? I just don't know how much Oklahoma can move the ball against anybody right now. Alabama in a walk. A&M and Auburn, we want to look at that and say it's a trap of some sort. The line is A&M by 2.5 at Auburn.
Ooh, that's scary right there.
I wonder why it's so low. It's not like
it's hard to win on the road.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's hard to win on the road. A&M has a lot of single-digit type games, or they keep it close. That's just their style. So I could see that. I thought Auburn was the second worst team I had seen. Now they have a couple athletes. That's for sure. They have more athletes than Mississippi State, but just their attention to detail, the way they went about it. They weren't buttoned up. They weren't disciplined. Maybe they've changed all that. Maybe they put all that stuff in the past and they're playing different. But I don't think they'll have too much for them.
They haven't been very good on the road of late. A&M won by 10 at Mississippi State. Road win, understandably. Arkansas had a better performance in Starkville. They lost at South Carolina. Maybe Carolina's playing the best football in the SEC at the moment. And it's a must-win. Did you see this clip? And I can't play it because I don't have my stuff plugged in to do this. A reporter asks Elko the other day at his presser about, are you worried about your guys looking ahead of the Texas game and all of that? And Elko gives the absolutely perfect answer until he says, we're all focused on Texas. I meant Auburn. He literally said that. He said, we're all focused on Texas. I meant Auburn. It's like, look, I have brain farts all the time. The thing that somebody asks me may be, unfortunately, the thing that I mentioned when I didn't mean to. And I'm sure that's the situation with Elko. It's just, it couldn't have been written any better. It was like a perfect SNL script.
I don't think it's an issue. I think when you're in the situation we're in, it's easy to focus on the task at hand. I think those big games earlier in the year, maybe you look ahead. If we didn't have at stake what's at stake, maybe you would worry about it. I think our focus is single-handedly on on Auburn right now and locked in on what we got to get done.
Locked in, Coach. We locked in. The state of Alabama program.
Lauren Michaels gave that presser a go-ahead, by the way. This is just
locked in.
Perfect for a college football press conference on Saturday Night Live.
That was good.
It is good stuff. Still have to give the tickets away to the basketball game for later tonight. I'll figure out a trivia question to do it because that's the only way to do it. But I'm going to break right now. We'll visit with Neil Atkinson from Bet Saracen on Halftime right after this.
Looks like I picked the wrong week to quit smoking.
This is Halftime.
We are here in the Bud Walton Arena, where it is about as loud as a building could get. The loudest arena to start a game I've ever been in.
This is a hard place. You don't come here expecting to win. Let me tell you that.
The name, the brand, the identity that he brings to a program that has a storied, rich tradition, an outstanding fan base in Fayetteville, Arkansas.
Listen to every Razorback basketball game right here on ESPN 95.3 and hitthatline.com.
This is Coke Zero Sugar. Could I be the best Coke ever? Try and taste with your ears. Hear those bubbles? Imagine them tingling on your tongue. Fizzy deliciousness. Listen to that cascading liquid. A mouth-watering waterfall. Irresistibly tasty. Zero sugar. Crisp, refreshing, and ice cold. Is Coke Zero Sugar the best Coke ever? Try and decide.
Witz Marine, your authorized Mercury dealer, is ready to take care of your winterization needs. With cold weather just around the corner, be sure and get your Mercruiser stern drives drained and flushed with antifreeze. For those with outboards, it's a great time to change the oil and service the lower unit. Plus, treat your fuel for a trouble-free next season. Don't get caught this winter. It's also a great time to repower the old boat with a new reliable Mercury engine. That's Witz Marine, your authorized repower center. 823 North 11th next to Wheeler Power Sports in Fort Smith.
This year, we considered hiring an ad agency to help with our marketing.
They pitched impressive visuals and a script that was inspiring.
And exotic animal mascots to help grab your attention.
In the end, we just decided to tell it to you straight. Shelter Insurance has award-winning customer service at affordable rates.
Plus, our local agents are there to help you understand what coverage you need.
Call Jeff Clark in Fort Smith or Brad Howell in Van Buren. Are holidays stressful for you? Hey, Ty Richardson for the Whippoorwill. The Newmeyers would love to take care of some of that stress by providing you an awesome Thanksgiving dinner. Call the Whippoorwill at 479-769-2095 for the best Thanksgiving catering you've ever had. Smoked turkey breast, dressing, mashed potatoes, and turkey gravy with all the fixins. The Newmeyers' newest restaurant, the Whippoorwill, taking care of your holiday this year.
Seems Thanksgiving Day is upon us.
Fall is here, and that means cooler weather, football, and family, which makes it the perfect time to visit Southern Tire Mart, your family's #1 tire store. Southern Tire Mart is your trusted partner for top quality tires, professional services, and competitive pricing. Visit us in Fort Smith at 9700 Highway 271 and let us ensure your vehicle is ready for anything fall brings your way. Southern Tire Mart is a proud dealer of Yokohama tires. We keep America rolling.
Why do people love Shamrock Liquor Warehouse? Simple. They've got it all. 70 years in business, 15,000 square feet of choices. They buy in volume so you can save. What else? How about the largest selection of everything? Shamrock's got it. Special orders? Shamrock's got it. Convenient drive-through, open 6 days a week? Shamrock's got it. Need a keg for your party? Shamrock's got it. Load up at Shamrock Liquor Warehouse at the corner of Midland and Riverfront Drive in Fort Smith.
Ready to explore beyond the beaten path? Discover the Range Rover lineup at Land Rover of Little Rock. Experience handcrafted luxury with the capability to take on any adventure. The elegant Range Rover offers unmatched performance and first-class luxury. The Range Rover is built for every journey. Visit Land Rover of Little Rock today and explore our incredible Range Rover selection. Plus, take advantage of our promotions and recently revamped service department. Visit us at 25 Colonel Glenn Plaza Drive or log on at LandRoverLittleRock.com.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Feeling blue. Just take then I'm not alone. When you're close to me, I can feel your heartbeat. I can hear you breathing in my ear. Wouldn't you agree, baby? You got a groovy kind of love.
Welcome back into Halftime Live from the Crabtree RV Studios. Crabtree RV Center in Alma, where we make your dreams come true.
Headed to the hotline. I haven't been on the air for the last couple of Fridays. Been gone, been traveling, or had a game. So I haven't had a chance to talk with Neil Atkinson from Bet Saracen. I appreciate Colton doing those conversations the last couple of weeks. Neil, how you been, and how are you today?
Oh, I'm doing fine. It's another Friday golden hour, getting ready for another weekend. And like I said, I was looking over the slate of the college football games myself this week, and I'm like, nothing really sticks out. And I guess that's where sports betting comes in, is pretty good, because if you got a game that's not all that interesting as far as from the fan perspective, you can always make it interesting by putting money on one side or the other, or things of that nature. So I got a feeling this week is going to be a big prop week with bigger lines that are on some of these games for the SEC opponents this week.
Well, it's been It's been fun, and really, since the playoff has been a thing, when the poll comes out on Tuesdays, and then everybody reacts to it over the next few days. But now, since there's so much more access, it's I'm looking at the odds for the teams to make the college football playoff on the Bet Sarazen app right now, and it's just you got Oregon at minus 10,000, pretty much feeling Ohio State and Georgia are locks to get in there. The Georgia one is just kind of interesting because they're a two-loss team. And Texas, the feeling is if they don't beat A&M, that there's a chance that they could get left out as well. It's just the fact that you're not going to get 6 SEC teams in, and these odds have to be changing week by week. Now that you got 12 teams that make the playoff, it does make the ability to put some money on it even a little bit more fun too.
Yeah, and remember, the odds that are to make, the playoffs and things of that nature, don't care about what the ranking is. Don't care about any of that stuff. At this point in the matter, those odds are being established on where people are voting with their money and where they are putting it. So this is the betting public's, I guess, AP poll, if you look at it that way. And if you look historically, the betting public's, sometimes a little bit better than the on things like this, a little bit better than what the rankings are. But at the end of the day, it's the rankings and the playoff committee that get to make the selection, so they're going to be the ones that determine. But some of them are lining up, and then some of them we've got some questions to ask to be answered over the next 2 weeks, and just looking at the SEC and how jammed up it is, and weigh in the equity of schedules and whatnot. It's just going to be fascinating with this being the first one to see how it all sorts out, and. But I don't care who's in it. I just think the playoffs are going to be a lot of fun this year to watch, and it's going to be interesting for me to manage the liabilities on it because it's new for me this year also.
Do you think as we once we get to that you saw the NFL game last night and the snow was a factor, but both teams have to deal in it, and I think both those teams, they're northern teams and they might build for that in the process anyway, so it could be a little different. When you look at how the playoff would be structured if it was played now, you'd have 3 SEC teams going up north. Usually there's like a 3-point swing depending on if you're playing at home. What about if there's awful weather where a team from the south, like an Alabama or an Ole Miss, is going up to play in a place where, nobody would have anticipated that we have to play in, like the Steelers and Browns did last night?
Yeah, I mean, it's going to have a factor. Now, we probably, because we don't have a lot of historical data, because, this is the first time that this has really happened, and you usually don't have SEC teams going up north to those cold weather, and of course it depends on what the weather is on the day. We'll probably put a little weight in there, but the more important weight I think is going to be the home field advantage, on the on-campus playoff games. I mean, we'll probably just go along the way it is, and then once we put out the line, the betting public is the one that's going to move it. Of course, we establish that line, and it usually doesn't move a whole lot from it. And when you get to this time of the year, we get pretty good. The models really, not necessarily us, but the models get really, really good at dialing it in, and it gets a little bit harder and it gets a little bit closer. But then again, weather and travel and going to playing a playoff game at if you're the visiting team on that, that's going to have a little bit of effect, and we'll just see how it plays out this year, and we'll adjust our models for next year or the next week and as needed.
Hey, how did you guys make out on the Jake Paul Mike Tyson fight from last week? I know you guys were taking bets on it, and I think a lot of people might have been betting with their emotions rather than the realistic idea of someone fighting someone else who's 31 years younger.
Yeah, that's exactly the way that I see it. I saw it was always tilted towards Mike Tyson, but as it got close to the boxing match going off, I mean, it just seemed like everything was coming in on Tyson. It was just, I was kind of scratching my head. I'm like, you do realize that's a 58-year-old man that is getting in that ring, and the odds on Paul were not that bad to win. It's just, I think people just really got caught up in the emotion and the hype, and a lot of people looked at the old Mike Tyson boxing match. I mean, if you look at any of his previous fights, throughout the years, and how much of a powerhouse that he was. I think people bet the way they wanted to, and the players did not do very, very well on that particular game. It was more profitable than I thought it was going to be for us. I just think people got really caught up in the emotions and the hype around it, but it was good because it gave a lot of exposure to the boxing, and it was fun. I mean, the women's fight that was before that one was the incredible fight to watch. I mean, that went all the way in. I know it was a very controversial decision in there with it going to Taylor. I kind of saw that one a different way, but I think that fight did more, given more exposure on the women's boxing event, and then you just had the spectacle of the Paul Tyson fight.
Lots for basketball tonight, not just in terms of the Arkansas Little Rock game, but all kinds of prop bets on that game specifically, thinking about, how many three-pointers the team make, how the first basket is scored. But you also have a few, NBA players that are from Arkansas. You have some specials on them today as well on Bet Saracen.
Yeah, I mean, my trading team's doing a very good job, and we're trying to identify and only put up lines on Arkansas natives, whether they are from Arkansas, played for one of the Arkansas schools, have ties to Arkansas in some way, and we're putting them up on the board. And the tricky part is making sure that they're going to have, some play time, have realistic benchmarks to hit to be able to make those bets bettable. So we're just having fun with it. We're just putting up as much content as we can. I mean, we've even got a NCAA women's volleyball line, Arkansas at Tennessee, some friendlies there too. So it's just our mantra. We just like covering Arkansas sports, and that's what our players ask us for. They DM us that on Twitter/X, and if we can deliver it and have data points to be able to do it, we're putting it out there and having a lot of fun with it. And people are, like I said, they're not betting their farms on these. They're putting a little bit of money on it to keep it friendly, but it keeps them engaged and keeps them coming to the site each day to see what we have. And there's no secret. It's always good for the bookmaker if you're visiting the site, and because you're more likely to make a bet if you visit the site to see what kind of special content we put up daily.
Biggest game of the college football weekend is Indiana at Ohio State. I still have to check myself just like saying those words, and it is reality.
I mean, who would have thought that at the beginning of this season? I mean, Indiana in football, I mean, they've got a shot.
Well, all right, so what have the bettors thought about this? Because I see Ohio State favored by 11, and part of the conversation this week is, does Indiana stay in the playoff 12 if they get blown out? I just feel like a lot of people are expecting Ohio State to give Indiana the business.
Yeah, and the betting public's going that way also. Because if they thought that Indiana had a legitimate chance, that line would have been bet down. And a lot more money would have gone on the money line for Indiana if they thought. And that's the opinion of the sports bettors. And but I mean, this year's just been different. But that like you said, that's probably the game I'm most interested in. And secretly, regardless of where my liability is, I'm always rooting against Ohio State for some strange reason.
A lot of people around here are in the same boat as you. Well, before we go, tell me where what the line's been with Arkansas and La Tech. Did I last see 22.5 points this morning?
Yeah, and it's right now at 22.5. Really that line has kind of been pretty steady all week long. Where the line movement has been on the over and under. I think it came out at 53 or 53.5. It went to 50 midweek. And over the last day and a half, it's gone down to 48.5. So a lot of people started betting the under, and that's what moved the line down. I think people, because of this game, has a lot of implications on the bowl game and winning this game and possibly winning the last one against Missouri. It's going to make the difference on what bowl game that Arkansas will go to. So it's a very, very important game. And also what I'm seeing is that you've got to bet $1,800 to win $100 if you bet the money line on Arkansas, with it being a 22.5 point line. People are saying Arkansas is going to cover that line. It's not a huge amount of money, but like I said, they are really, really loading up on the props this week because with the over and under at 48 and Arkansas being a 22 favorite, on paper it says Arkansas is going to score a lot. And if Arkansas is going to score a lot and move the ball a lot on Louisiana Tech, that's usually a good sign for the props and people doing very well on those because, they want to make a statement. Even though it's LA Tech, they want to make a statement and have a good quality win and be bowl eligible and top off the season. So it has the potential of being a runaway game as these do, especially late in the year. And when it does, it's a Maalox moments for me for all the different props that I have to pay out. But hey, that's what sports betting is all about.
Speaking of Maalox, Neil, have a happy Thanksgiving next week. We're off the air Friday, so we'll revisit in a couple of weeks. Okay.
All right, sounds great. And everybody have a safe holidays, especially if you're traveling. It looks like it's going to be a little bit nasty weather leading into the holidays and on Thanksgiving next week. But hey, if it's nasty weather, hey, just be inside, be with your phone, make some friendly bets, and good luck on all of your parlays. And bet with your head and not over it. Keep your sports betting fun and entertaining.
It's Neil Atkinson from BetSaracen, Arkansas's favorite sports betting app. Download it for your Apple iPhone from the App Store. Android users, Google Play, any web browser works. Type it in at BetSaracen.com. Got some basketball tickets to give away for tonight in just a moment. 877-377-6963. It's halftime, and we are right back.
This is halftime. You can now download our new app in the iTunes or Google Play Store. Listen anytime and anywhere on your favorite mobile device. Just search Hit That Line now.
BetSaracen is Arkansas's #1 mobile app for placing sports wagers.
There's big news in the mobile sports betting business. BetSaracen was just named the 15th largest sportsbook in America. That's because our Kansans like to do business with a winner. Find all your winners on BetSaracen. Download it today and look for my RR prop bet specials. I pick them, you win them.
BetSaracen is Arkansas's favorite sports wagering app.
Gambling problem? Call 800-522-4700.
Okay, I have to tell you. I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card. One of the rarest. The last one I needed for my set. Shiny like the
designer handbag of my dreams. One of a kind. eBay had it, and now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your
windshield wipers? eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying. Just beautiful.
Whatever you love, find it on eBay. eBay. Things people love.
You're listening to Halftime Live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
Up to $3,000 off and 0.9% financing on all 2024 Buick Encore GXs at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The Buick Encore GX is a boldly styled 5-person SUV that is ready to reward. Up to $3,000 off and 0.9% financing for well-qualified buyers. This is a limited time offer. Experience the new Buick at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith and online at harryrobinson.com.
At AOG, our main goal is to deliver reliable energy to your home safely. And keeping our team members, customers, and community safe starts with awareness. Natural gas has a distinctive, strong odor, often compared to rotten eggs or sulfur. If you smell gas, leave your home immediately. Go to a safe location and call 911 in addition to AOG. Remember, if you smell gas, act fast and always call 811 before you dig. To learn more about natural gas safety, visit AOGC.com. AOG, energy for life.
Watch every Hog game this season at Joe's Grill and Cantina, your home for half-price apps and taps during every Hog game. With TVs all around the restaurant, you'll have a front row seat for all the action. Half-price appetizers like Joe's Sampler Platter, Ballpark Nachos, 10-layer dip, brisket nachos, and Mexican pizza. And ask about Joe's tailgate packages to make your football experience even better in the comfort of your home. Half-price apps and taps for every Hog game at Joe's Grill and Cantina, 3400 South 74th Street, across from Harps.
Hey, is your roof leaking? Do you have hail or wind damage? Is it just looking old and worn out? If so, you need to call Hoghead Roofing, a family-owned and operated roofing company where the #1 customer is you. They will give you their honest opinion on whether your roof needs replaced or repaired. They have folks that have worked on the insurance side so they can assist with all claims. Licensed, insured, and ready to serve you. Call Hoghead Roofing today at 479-522-0840. God bless.
November is the month for thankfulness, and all of us here at Crabtree RV Center in Alma are thankful for our loyal customers who voted us the best of the River Valley and the best of the best in 2024.
Crabtree RV Center, making your family's dreams come true for over 70 years.
November is the month for thankfulness, and all of us here at Crabtree RV Center in Alma are thankful for our loyal customers who voted us the best of the River Valley and the best of the best in 2024.
Crabtree RV Center, making your family's dreams come true for over 70 years.
When you need tough and paint just isn't enough, check out River City Coatings in Van Buren. When it comes to your metals, paint can peel and crack over time. Whether it's your patio furniture, rims or trims on your automobile, or heavy equipment, no one has time for a redo. Powder coating provides the toughness you need. Preserve your investment with powder coating from River City Coatings. River City Coatings, certified John Deere, Caterpillar, ISO 9001, Packer, and UL provider of tough. River City Coatings, 471-7675 or online at rivercitycoatings.com.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Some days more than ever, and some days pass on by. I'll be working here forever, at least until I die. Damn if you do, damn if you don't. I'm supposed to get a raise next week, you know that when I won't. Working for a living, working for a living, I'm taking what they're giving, 'cause I'm working for a living.
Welcome back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Got a question or comment for the guys? Call or text 877-377-6963. Let's get back to the show with the voice of Arkansas Razorback baseball, Phil Elson, and Razorback football legend Matt Jones.
All right, I got a couple of tickets to give away for Arkansas versus Little Rock tonight. It's an 8 o'clock tip. We'll have airtime at 7:30 with Chuck and Zim for the pregame. And I just got to give the ticket away. I got a very easy trivia question here because you've got one of the all-time Razorback greats who is the head coach of the opponent, Darrell Walker. There has been another Arkansas all-time great who was an assistant coach at UALR. That was back when I was doing the women's basketball games. I'd fill in every once in a while for our friend Ray Tucker, the voice of
Sugar Ray,
Little Rock Trojan basketball. And I remember sitting next to this person who I think everybody knows very well, and I've never seen anybody drink a beer faster than him. It was a Newcastle, which I do like Newcastle Brown Ale. The bottle literally disappeared inside his hand like it was a little pony bottle, like it was a 3-ouncer instead of a 16-ounce. Ooh, it was going to be the trivia answer. That is who it was. Yes.
Oh,
that's okay.
My bad.
I'll figure out a different one, but that's who it was. Did anybody send in the right answer before that? Yeah, Joe was an assistant at UA. I forget how many years it was, but he'd work with the big guys, and this was after he did Razorback radio broadcasts.
I rode in a golf cart with Joe Klein before we went golfing, and I tried to keep my questions to about 3 questions, about the basketball team, because you're trying to out there and have fun, But he's a legend, he's won a gold medal. You want to hear what he has to say when it comes to Arkansas Razorback basketball. Absolutely.
Well, he's just fun to talk to as well.
But both of us in a golf cart. I mean, I don't know how the battery made it, because that's 2 giant humans in one golf cart.
So for guys like you, is the roof of the golf cart a little taller? Because they might have to create a little hole there for you. And as tall as you are, Matt,
he's
twice Joe is 6 inches taller.
He's a large human, and he's the big old teddy bear. He's the nicest dude.
I just love the thought too. It's too bad he won't do the radio broadcast with Ray. If you don't know Sugar Ray, there's Ray Tucker. Matt and I know him pretty well, and Joe is 7 feet tall, and Tuck is 5'4". It'd be fun to see the two of them next to each other at a broadcast.
Sugar Ray should have his own Segway. He should be going away everywhere he travels from now on. He should just be in a Segway where he just go, and then that gives him, that's like his platforms right there.
All right, I'll figure out another trivia question
My
for
fault.
it's easy to do. I can come up with it. I can come up with it. I think. Okay, and the UALR has won 2 NCAA tournament basketball games all time. I think they've only won 2 of them. Who did they beat first? I get a double check on some of this because I remember recently they did get a victory, but I think there was another win before that might have been might have been their first. I'd have to double check on it. 877-377-6963 to get with us. And we get 2 tickets in section 111, row 23. So pretty good seats for this game tonight. And good weather. It's a weekend. And I guess, now that it's not every media member, but so many of them will make sure that you see the seating bowl before the game. As they're warming up, there'll be 4 or 5 or 6 different tweets from whomever to try to show whatever that whatever the attendance looks like, and the Kentucky fans will be jumping right on that thing.
You got to send the tweet if that's what people do these days, or take the picture like 2 minutes after the game starts. You don't send it 17 minutes before the game starts. That doesn't make any sense at all. You send it about 2 minutes once the game starts. That gives you an actual, because people, that's what they're there to do, to watch the game. They might be they're making their last refreshment stand run to pay extra percentages, for NIL. They're going to the restroom. Maybe they'll put a thing in where every time you go into the restroom, you have to thumb a nickel for NIL just to use the restroom. But you're doing all that stuff before the game starts, so you got to take the picture after the game actually starts.
Did you ever use any of those toilets where you have to stick a dime into the thing?
Dude, the first time I ever was when I was a child, and the first time as you grow older and you go places in public, the first time I ever went to a trough-like bathroom was at War Memorial, where you just walk up and there's 20 people standing at the same trough, and you're like, oh my goodness, what's going on? I don't know. I was like 11 or something, or 12. I was young.
We had a famous urinal trough at Ray Winder Field for the Travelers games. It was so famous that somebody bought it.
My goodness!
When we had our little fire sale after the ballpark closed, so it's like somebody also bought a urinal trough that hadn't been used in a year. Now maybe that makes it cleaner, so maybe that's actually a little more intelligent for those who are urinal trough shopping, which seems to be a little bit of a niche purchase. So there you go. We do have the right answer. Little Rock has a couple of wins all time in the NCAA tournament. The first one came in 1986 at the Hubert H. Humphrey Metrodome against Notre Dame. So it is Notre Dame that was the first team that UALR, they were called UALR back then, won or beat in the NCAA tournament. I'm trying to see if I remember any of these names from Notre Dame, and I don't. Who was the Notre Dame coach that year? Our boy Zach is here. Every time somebody refers to Notre Dame, they've got to be called the Fighting Zach Arnses. Even in 1985 and 86, it was Digger. Digger Phelps was the head coach. So Naden Bentonville is the winner. He's got the 2 tickets for tonight of Arkansas against Little Rock. Congratulations, Nate. Way to go. We'll make sure we send those tickets to you, and we've got our tickets for Wes and Michael for tomorrow's football game. You all will be getting a text with a link later on, and then Ruskin and Zach also have tickets for football and basketball. Well, no, not basketball. They've got football tickets to be giving away. And I think they're also going to be giving away the $250 Walmart gift card, which you should still be able to go onto our website and register for now, 877-377-6963. Let's take a couple of phone calls. We've got, Charlie. It's a different Charlie. He's in Norman, Arkansas. What's up, Charlie? How are you?
Hey, I'm pretty good. Y'all were talking about memories of La Tech, and it triggered my nostalgic references. And I was trying to think of a big man in basketball after you talked about Malone, and it was getting to me because I couldn't remember, so I Googled it. And I think it was Randy White and P.J. Brown that I was trying to remember.
I remember P.J. Brown, yeah.
And then I'm from Lafayette, Louisiana, and it used to be called USL. It was our local college. It's now ULL. And they were in the same conference with Tech. I think it was Southland Conference. And I started researching all the players I used to watch as a little kid back when it was a big deal to get somebody's sweatband and look up at these tall trees walking to the dressing room. It was a big deal to do that back in then. and they weren't in the Cajun Dome back then. It was it's Blackham Coliseum. They call it a cow palace or something. The nickname it got because it was actual cows were in there when the court wasn't in there.
Heck,
So I
that's what
started
like
going
where
down the
Little
list
Rock
of
used
both-
to play Barton Coliseum. That literally was a cow palace. I mean, it's partially what it's used for now. Even is I think the cattle auctions. You can smell it when you go inside the building for the state fair. It's not the only place. It
Yeah,
happens.
and they had some green stuff they would sprinkle out on it, I guess to absorb it before they put the floor in. But do you remember Bo Lamar, Marvin Winkler, names like that?
I don't remember those
Coach
names.
Burl Shipley was the coach, and he was apparently, from the article I read, he was one of the first to start recruiting black players to Louisiana there at that college. It was dominantly white. And I think they got into trouble because I think even way back then there was some money being exchanged.
So you sound like
Anyway,
you could be-
it was good to go down memory lane, being triggered by all that latex stuff. It just put me back to the early '70s Southland Conference.
You can definitely stay
ULL.
on memory lane tomorrow, Charlie, when the football game gets going, because you'll have about 3 hours to enjoy at least some of that nostalgia. It's good to hear from you, Charlie. Thank you very much for calling. We got another one on hold here at Cecil. Good afternoon, Cecil, and happy Friday. How are you?
Hey, fellas, what's going on? Man, I be knowing every trivia question you be talking about, Phil. I just can't never get in. But yeah, Eula had a really good team. I was actually following them in '86. They had Jesse, I think his name was Jesse Clark. They had a dude named Pete Myers. He went to the Bulls. He was really good. I think he's still in NBA coaching right now. And they had Marlon Jackson, and they were really good. Their big man, Clark, was about 6'7". That was the biggest man they had. But they beat Notre Dame, and then they took North Carolina State in the double overtime. And NC State won the national championship that year with that alley-oop dunk. That's the first alley-oop dunk I ever saw right there. But that was really good. And then later on, for a few years to go after that, they actually had a really good program. And then what's the name out of Little Rock played for the Lakers? You know what I'm talking
Derek
about.
Fisher,
He
yeah.
played- Derek, yes. I don't know why I didn't remember his name right off the top. But yeah, Derek was really, when Derek played, they had a good team, but not as good as the team that they had in '86. That was the best team Eula had. And Arkansas wasn't doing that great at all. And that was the only Arkansas team in the tournament, in that Southland Conference. They played at the State House Convention Center in Little Rock. It was small, held about 5,000 people, and they filled it up. But it was really good. It was local TV, and oh God, what's his name? Used to do the games. I can't think of his name. But the coach was actually offered a head coaching job at oh my God.
Was it Mike Newell was his name, if I remember, right? Mike Newell?
Yeah, Mike Newell. They offered him a job at Marquette, and he turned that job down. Back then, it was like $90,000, $100,000. That's been a long time ago. But, he turned that, and he wasn't making, $50,000, $60,000 a year, and he turned the job down, and he cried. Man, it was sad, man. But he was trying to build that program up. But yeah, that was some like the guy just got off. I love to hear stuff like that because I've lived it and watched all the games, man. This is the last game coming up tomorrow, and I'm so wore out. I'm really wore out. But my son has a wrestling tournament up there tomorrow all day, and then I got tickets too, though. So, I'm a Hog fan. I love the atmosphere, man. It's just fun. It really don't matter who we playing. It's just great to go to games and enjoy the games. And one more thing, Indiana upset Indiana. Indiana's going to upset. I don't think it's upset because Indiana's been good for some years now. People just don't pay them any attention because
They haven't been like this. I don't think they've won in Ohio State since. I don't think Indiana's won at Ohio State since the 70s, if that.
But they've been winning, though, Phil. But I think they're going to beat Ohio State just right up. I'm going to take the 10.5, and Arkansas going to cover tomorrow. And y'all have a blessed weekend.
All right. Appreciate you very much. Thank you very much, Cecil. All right. We got a break. We'll wrap up halftime in just a moment, so stay with us.
This is halftime.
Here with Grant Neal, General Manager at Rhodes Chevrolet. Grant, it looks like your quality and quantity of pre-owns just keeps getting better.
Yeah, it's really getting a lot better, and the reason is because we're selling more new cars. More new inventories rolling in, and with that, we get better trade-ins, which are the highest quality used cars we get. They're all going through our shop, getting a high-quality inspection from our certified technicians, making sure that everything works and it stops, starts, and steers safely, because we want everything out on the lot to be at a high quality. But we have something for everybody, whether you're looking for a cheap set of wheels just to get around, or you need a new primary car for the family, a new truck for work, whatever it is, I promise we're going to have something for you on our pre-owned lot.
What if someone needs financing or doesn't have the best credit? Can you help them?
Absolutely. Our finance director, Robert Good, is an expert at working with the banks. We've had people who said that they'll never be able to buy a car, drive out of here in a brand new set of wheels. And as we know, the Fed just did another cut in rates, so it's only going to get better as the year goes on.
2800 on the highway, Van Buren. It's Rhodes Chevrolet, where we make car buying great again.
Valley Family Dental, formerly known as Riley Farm Dental, at the entrance to Riley Farms, provides every type of dental care and procedure for you and your family. Dr. Sparkman, Farmer, and now Dr. Blaine Van Nice work to give all of their patients better lives with a better smile. Valley Family Dental, now offering same-day crown service. Mention you heard this ad on ESPN Radio at your next appointment and receive a free bleaching kit or $100 off in-office accelerated whitening. Call 226-3500 for an appointment or visit valleyfamilydentalpractice.com.
Waldron Wave Rural Connect. Internet is now available in your area. Fast fiber internet and full-featured home phone are ready for you. This covers areas around Waldron, Bates, Winfield, Y-City, and more. Check out your address online today. The best whole home solution of internet and phone, all from a local provider you can trust. Order online at signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
Man, I wish I knew you were here. We hear that every day at In Stock Parts, located off Highway 45 across from the cold storage in Fort Smith. Are you a maintenance technician, landscaper, farmer, or do-it-yourselfer in need of bearings, belts, or roller chain? Or safety supplies like gloves, safety glasses, or earplugs? Maybe you need drill bits, tap and die sets, lubricants, or even a gas-powered pump or generator. Don't waste your time driving around. Stop by In Stock Parts, your industrial parts resource, or check them out online at InStockParts.com. In Stock Parts.
Award-winning barbecue is always at the Links at Chaffee Crossing. Whether it's ribs, pork, brisket, or chicken, they can satisfy any appetite. Enjoy daily food and drink specials while you watch the games on one of several TVs. The Links at Chaffee Crossing is here and always ready to serve you the best barbecue in the River Valley. The Links at Chaffee Crossing next to Deer Trails Golf Course. Come see us.
This is Bruce Stanton, Vice President and General Manager of Pradco Fishing in Fort Smith. If you're going to do some cold water bass fishing, you need to be using an Umbrella Flash Mob Jr. It's the best lure for duplicating a small school of shad and can be worked from the top of the water column to the bottom. Whether you're trying to win a bass tournament or whoop up on a bunch of white bass and stripers, the Umbrella Flash Mob Jr. will catch them. Available at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Academy, LureNet.com, and tackle stores all over the place, the Umbrella Flash Mob Jr.
Before you buy that next car or truck, stop by Broadway Motors in Van Buren. The best of the best for 2 straight years. Michael and his team offer the best prices on the best quality pre-owned vehicles in the River Valley. They invite you to stop by and check it out for yourself. Or if you prefer to check out their inventory online or even do your financing online. Michael has built his reputation as a husband, father, and owner-operator since 2006. Broadway Motors, 806 Broadway in Van Buren, or online at BroadwayMotorsAR.com.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
One shot is never enough. Life is wait for us to go in circles. A lifetime of giving up for you. My feet would tell me I'm different. Action on things I'm okay. Not even sad we lost right away. I want new friends.
Welcome back into Halftime Live from the Crabtree RV Studios. Crabtree RV Center in Alma, where we make your dreams come true.
Jackie Mock has joined us with Mock Legal Solutions. And, man, it's been a lot of fun being here today. You still have Ruskin and Zach coming up, so you get some other guys to mess around with, too.
Yeah, we're real excited to have y'all here. Thanks for coming.
Before we go, I wanted to bring up divorce and custody once again, just because it's just such a touchy thing to deal with, but it's something that can be very just necessary for somebody to find a way to move on in life. And I mean, if you're breaking up a marriage and trying to make sure that you get the things that you deserve within the law, this is the place to come.
It is. Back in 2020, there was a nationwide push for dads' rights because for a long time, moms got the benefit of the doubt. And so in 2021, our Arkansas General Assembly passed an Act 604, that said joint custody is presumed correct. And that gave a lot of dads equal footing in the law. And so I've had a lot of clients come from ESPN, from our ads on your station, and we've gotten them joint custody of their kids because that's what's fair and that's what's best for the kids in most cases.
Well, and also at the same time, it's best for the kids, but it's also best for the parents involved too. I mean, you want to be involved in your kids' lives, and sometimes, I've heard stories of situations where people don't get a chance to do that, and I mean, it's a direct negative effect on their life and on the kids too.
Absolutely. Right after a divorce, emotions are high. I think a general rule I tell my clients for the first year, just kind of keep the communication limited and just focus on the kids together. And then a lot of times people find a good happy medium and they're able to co-parent. I have a lot of clients who co-parent well.
So I wanted to ask about flat fees to finish here and how that can help when it comes to a custody battle, because I think some people worry that they may be outspent.
Absolutely. So that has long been a concern of mine. If one party leaves the marriage and has substantially more financial capabilities, they will have more money to pay a retainer and pay these high hourly fees. We don't bill like that. We have a flat fee. You come in, I assess your case, I estimate a flat number that'll get you all the way to your final hearing, and that's all you pay me. You make payments throughout your case. We continue working as you make payments, and I've found that now my clients can't be outspent, and it also limits the other party, and we kind of get to really focus on the real issues rather than a lot of frivolous pleadings that are unnecessary.
Well, I hope you have a great Thanksgiving.
Thank you. You too.
I know the kids will be pretty excited about it after the Thanksgiving celebration that they had today, right?
Yes, I know Matt stepped in for me, and I went over to Fort Smith Montessori for their day of thanks with my kids. So I hope all of your listeners have a wonderful holiday season.
Well, thanks again for having us out here,
Thanks.
Jackie.
Thanks for coming. We appreciate y'all very much.
Matt, hope you have a great weekend, man. It's going to be a big Arkansas athletics weekend.
Happy sports. Let's go baseball. Be safe. Have fun with your family.
All right, that's it for halftime on this Friday. Stay tuned. Ruskin and Zach are coming up right here at Mock Legal Solutions as well. You still have time to stop by. They are at 3401 South 79th Street in Fort Smith. It's right off Rogers Avenue. You can download the Eastside Liquor Halftime podcast in just a moment, and we'll see you on Monday. For Matt Jones, Colton and Christian, I'm Phil. That's halftime. Now get up, get out, and get better.
Up to $10,000 off or $7,000 off and 0% financing on select 2024 GMC Sierras at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The 24 GMC Sierra will conquer the road with confidence. Up to